From Sean Davis at The Federalist, buried within a newly classified congressional report on Russian meddling in the From Sean Davis at The Federalist, buried within a newly classified congressional report on Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. election is a
their breast milk was bad for their babies. So,
that's some rough shit, you know.
Well, okay, yeah. Besides that, I can't believe the scope of shit is going on behind the scenes, and we're all fucking running around trying to catch our tails. Meanwhile, they're implementing, like
Agenda 2030.
Exactly. That's what it is. That guy used words like sustainable and all that bullshit.
The empire never ended.
The Roman Empire never. It's still going on, and I see it all the time.
Didn't it go to like Istanbul and Constantinople or something like that? Pretty sure.
Putting on the Ritz. Jared, what's that song?
Let's get this shit going.
Get this. Now, how come I don't have an avatar? How are you doing, honey?
What?
Graham.
Who, me?
Ah, how are you?
I'm good. I just woke up.
Good. Oh, had a nap?
Yeah, nice. Pretty good nap.
I napped all day. It was wonderful.
That's a great thing. Those are good days.
So I heard this Mark Levin thing today I really want to play. And I cut out all the crap, so it's only like 15 minutes long, but it's really interesting. Especially the end part where he's talking about how it's...
You want the full 15 minutes played?
I've got it. I got it all lined up. You guys will have to listen.
Oh, you're going to... Okay.
You'll have to listen through the stream.
Oh, gotcha.
But it's definitely worth it.
From Sean Davis at the Federalist, buried within a newly classified congressional report on Russian meddling in the 2016 U.S. election is a shocking revelation. Former Director of National Intelligence, DNI, James Clapper, not only leaked information about the infamous Steele dossier and high-level government briefings about it to CNN, he also may have lied to Congress about the matter. In one of the findings within the 253-page report, the House Intelligence Committee wrote that Clapper leaked details of a dossier briefing given to then-President-elect Donald Trump to CNN's Jake Tapper, lied to Congress about the leak, and was rewarded with a CNN contract a few months later. Now, CNN was in quite a little huff there over Sean Hannity and and Mike Cohen and some of the legal work that he may have done for Sean, and that should have been revealed. And at the time I told you, over at CNN and MSNBC and these other stations, they'll never reveal their conflicts. And here we have a conflict for CNN and Jake Tapper that's been going on for a year. Well, we don't release our sources. Really? Even if they're part of the news? Clapper flatly denied discussing the dossier compiled by Steele or any other intelligence related to Russia, that is, Russia hacking, of the 2016 election with journalists, the committee found. When asked directly whether he had ever discussed the dossier with any journalist, Clapper replied that he had not, according to a transcript of the proceedings. Congressman Rooney, did you discuss the dossier or any other intelligence related to Russia hacking of the 2016 election with journalists? Clapper, no. Clapper is a serial liar, a hugely deceitful man. It's not the first time he's lied about his own conduct and knowledge, ladies and gentlemen. The former DNI later, remember who he is, he's the head of intelligence. The former DNI later changed his story after he was confronted specifically about his communications with Jake Tapper on CNN. Quote from the report. Clapper subsequently acknowledged discussing the dossier with CNN journalist Jake Tapper and admitted that he might have spoken with other journalists about the same topic, the report concluded. Clapper's discussion with Tapper took place in early January 2017. Around the time, IC leaders, that is intelligence, briefed President Obama and President-elect Trump on the Christopher Steele information, a 2-page summary of which was enclosed in the highly classified version of the ICA or Intelligence Community Assessment. Now, So Obama is briefed formally. The briefing of Trump by U.S. intelligence chiefs was held on January 6. CNN published its story on the briefing based on anonymous leaks from, quote, 2 national security officials, unquote, on January 10. BuzzFeed published the full dossier, which was jointly funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign and the DNC, minutes after the CNN story was published. The revelation that Clapper was responsible for leaking details about the dossier and briefings, that is, briefings to 2 presidents, the matter is significant because former FBI Director James Comey wrote in one of 4 memos that he leaked that the briefing of Trump on salacious and unverified allegations from the dossier was necessary because CNN had them and were looking for a news hook. Clapper leaked. Comey leaked. The head of National Intelligence and the head of the Federal Bureau of Investigation on an opposition research funded by the Hillary Clinton campaign and the Democrat National Committee, in which the Russians played a role. This suggests to me, ladies and gentlemen, directly or indirectly, that it was Mr. Clapper and Mr. Comey and Mrs. Clinton and the DNC that had colluded with the Russians, carrying the Russians water. The congressional report on Russian interference noted that it was with this very briefing of Trump that multiple media organizations used as an excuse to publish the unverified dossier. This unverified dossier, you see, folks, was in the hands of scores of media organizations. Virtually every top official in our intelligence apparatus, every top official in our law enforcement apparatus. And to what end? It was Hillary Clinton and DNC opposition research dressed up as intelligence, used fraudulently to get a FISA warrant against an American citizen to open a back door into Trump world. I cannot stress enough what took place to your country in this election by the Obama administration. You know, as they go further in the Federalist, in their coordinated response to the full Intelligence Committee's findings, committee Democrats defended Clapper, claiming he broke no laws while acknowledging that he did leak information about the dossier to CNN's Jake Tapper. Evaluated in context, Clapper denied leaking classified information while acknowledging that as DNI he engaged in legitimate discussion of unclassified, non-intelligent information with Tapper, the Democrats concluded. This has become a very sick bunch. Clapper, who previously lied to Congress about whether the U.S. government was electronically spying on millions of Americans, was subsequently hired by CNN just months after his leak. Was there a quid pro quo, ladies and gentlemen, potentially? A quid pro quo? I think maybe. He was rewarded with a job. Although he eventually apologized to Senator Dianne Feinstein for lying to Congress about government mass surveillance of American citizens. He subsequently told MSNBC that the question to which he responded, does the NSA collect any type of data at all on millions or hundreds of millions of Americans, was a gotcha question, similar to, when did you stop beating your wife? This is Clapper. Now there's more over at the Daily Caller. Hang in there, there's a lot, but you get a sense for this. You don't have to remember every detail in the weeds and all, but the case is overwhelming, what took place here against the President of the United States. This is Chuck Ross, who's a hell of a reporter. Exclusive cabal of wealthy donors financing $50 million Trump-Russia investigation. A group of wealthy donors from New York and California have forked over $50 million to fund a Russia investigation being conducted, ready for this, by Christopher Steele, Fusion GPS, and a former Senate staffer for Dianne Feinstein. That bombshell revelation is made in a footnote in today's House Intelligence Committee's report on Russian interference in the presidential election. My one qualm with this report is it's misnamed. It's not Russian interference in the presidential election. It's the Obama administration's / Democrats' interference in the presidential campaign. And this is an important point to understand. When you see the Democrat minority all over CNN and MSNBC in the media trashing the House Intelligence Committee report, trashing the President of the United States, you must understand they're defending their party, which helped fund this dossier. They're defending their candidate, Hillary Clinton, and her campaign, which they supported as well, which helped fund this dossier. They're defending the Obama administration, which was the Democrat administration. So they are special pleaders. Fusion GPS hired Steele, a former M16 agent, as you know, to investigate Trump's activities in Russia. The Clinton campaign and DNC funded the project. Now, while the dossier project failed to help former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton win the presidency, Fusion GPS and Steele have continued their investigative work. You got this? They're still at it. That's according to statements from Daniel Jones, a former Feinstein staffer who runs the Penn Quaker Group, PQG, a Washington, D.C. consulting firm. The House report states that in March 2017, this former Feinstein staffer, Jones, told the FBI about a project he is, present tense, working on with Steele and Fusion GPS that is being funded to the tune of $50 million by 7 to 10 wealthy donors from New York and California. When I use this word coup, and I've called it a silent coup as opposed to a military coup, people shake their head, people cringe. I've come under, of course, withering assault. That's exactly what this is, ladies and gentlemen. You're witnessing it, and you have been witnessing it. In late March 2017, the former Feinstein staffer Jones met with the FBI regarding PQG. That's this project, which he described as exposing foreign influence in Western elections. This is in the committee's report. Redacted, they blocked out the name, told FBI that PQG was being funded by 7 to 10 wealthy donors located primarily in New York and California, who provided approximately $50 million. Redacted, that's their source, further stated that PQG had secured the services of Steele, his associate, the name redacted, and Fusion GPS to continue exposing Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election, reads the report, which adds that Jones planned to share the information he obtained with policymakers and with the press. This is why it won't go away, folks. 7 to 10 zillionaires have put up $50 million and keep pushing this issue. And pushing it and pushing it. The media are working with Clapper, with Comey, with Brennan, with McCabe, and all the rest. A cabal. A coup. Jones also offered to provide PQG's entire holdings to the FBI, the report says. The report cites a transcript of an interview that Jones gave to the FBI. It's dated March 28, 2017. Now, a passage from the House Permanent Select Committee on Intel report released April 27, 2018. The report confirms recent reporting about Jones's work with Fusion and Steele. Now, the Federalist, the website, outstanding website, first reported on February 20 that evidence suggests Jones was working with Fusion. That is this Feinstein, former staffer. Jones's name first emerged in connection with the Russia probe in February after Fox News published a batch of text messages exchanged between Virginia Senator Mark Warner and Adam Waldman, a lawyer for Oleg Deripaska, a Russian oligarch who is under scrutiny in the Russia probe. The texts show that Adam Waldman, this lawyer, was working as a back channel between Steele and Mark Warner. Waldman referred to Jones in two exchanges with Mark Warner, the senator from Virginia, who sought to meet with Steele separately from the rest of the Senate Intelligence Panel. According to text messages seen exclusively by DCNF, Jones first contacted Waldman on March 15, 2017, this lawyer for the Russian oligarch, saying that he was with a nonprofit group that had just been formed in Washington. Dan Jones here from the Democracy Integrity Project. Chris wanted us to connect, Jones wrote, referring to Steele. Waldman, the lawyer for the Russian oligarch, met with Jones, the former Feinstein staffer, on March 16, 2017. During the meeting, this lawyer Waldman says that Jones revealed that he was working with Fusion GPS. In other words, still going after the president. Jones also said that a group of Silicon Valley billionaires and George Soros, quote unquote, were funding the project with Fusion GPS, according to Waldman, who testified to the Senate Intelligence Committee panel last November 3. Now, Jones sent Waldman several other articles. In one text, Jones suggested to Waldman that his team help place a report with Reuters about Trump's real estate activities. Our team helped with this, Jones wrote, linking to the March 17, 2017 Reuters article. Jones sent Waldman several other news articles, including one from McClatchy, alleging the FBI was investigating whether Russian bots influenced conservative media outlets like Breitbart and InfoWars. The same McClatchy reporters who wrote that article also recently published a report alleging that Special Counsel Robert Mueller has been provided with evidence supporting the Steele dossier's allegation, and goes on and on. They're planning stories and proud of it. They're funded by extremely wealthy left-wing Democrats, mostly in New York and California, including the Silicon Valley. They continue to press this narrative. This is why I say the Democrat Party and the federal government, in many respects, are one and the same thing. They must have each other. They must receive nutrition, if you will, political, legal nutrition from each other. They nourish each other. And when somebody like Trump wins the presidency or is a threat who might win the presidency, they cannot tolerate it, because that means the instrumentalities of government, all this power, are not completely in their hands, even though they're wrong with the bureaucracy and the courts and so forth. Pretty much they are. And so just to be abundantly clear, the House Intelligence Committee report today says not a single witness that they interviewed provided any evidence of any collusion between Trump and his campaign and the Russians. None. And CNN has none, and MSNBC has none, and the FBI has none, Mr. Mueller has none, whatever he concocts. Committee investigations, criminal investigations, media investigations, nothing. Nothing! Because the whole thing's a hoax! The whole thing's a fraud! There wasn't anything! The opposition research was dressed up as intel, used by the intelligence agencies, used by the FBI to try and take down a candidate, then to try and take down a president-elect, and now to try and take down the president of the United States. I don't care what you think of Trump or this issue or that issue. That's not what we're talking about. We're talking about something incredibly diabolical here. This isn't a conspiracy. It's being laid out over and over and over again. The essential facts are on the table for everybody to see. Everybody. Now, over at CNN and MSNBC and the other Democrat Party media operations, they're focused on this Russian lawyer who has now confessed that she's a Russian informant. You have to be an idiot not to realize that once she met with Donald Trump Jr., among others, and tried to set them up, that she was anything but a Russian informant. And what's important to remember about that meeting is Donald Trump Jr., Kushner, and the others got up and left. They got up and left. They smelled a dead fish. They knew something was going on. They could see they had a rat right in front of them. They didn't negotiate with her. They didn't agree to do anything for her. Nothing, not a thing occurred at that meeting. They didn't leak classified information like certain FBI directors and certain intelligence agency heads. No. They leaked nothing. They received nothing. They offered nothing. A Russian informant. I suspect they suspected that at some point. That this is what carries the news over at CNN. Why? Because CNN has been revealed as part of the operation that has tried to interfere with this presidency. They claim they represent the First Amendment and freedom of the press and freedom of speech. They represent no such thing. No such thing whatsoever. They are a bunch of partisan leftist hacks that have as their purpose to dislodge this president. And not just this president. Watch this guy, Brian Stelter, even though nobody does, on the weekends. His entire existence is aimed at trying to destroy talk show hosts, television hosts, conservative columnists who do not toe the line. That's the entire purpose of Brian Stelter over at CNN. That's it. He's not a newsman. He's a hitman.
Like 3, 2, 1, it's done.
3, 2, 1, it's done.
All right, welcome back to the Hive with
you,
your host Jerry Cthulhu.
We're all hosts.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're co-hosts. Hey, everybody.
Hey,
Hi, everyone.
Hey, everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
Everybody.
Hello,
Welcome to the Hive.
everyone.
We're going to discuss the video that nobody watched. So
I would like to. I just wanted to talk about a few points in there, mainly how this opposition research piece that one campaign put up against another was used as intelligence from MI5, MI6. You know, that could have been easily as done by the Republicans as the Democrats. It's just the way that the government's working right now. And if that's going on and that's been exposed, what else is out there that hasn't been exposed?
Oh my God.
And
Pandora's box.
what the fuck are we going to do about it? Or what is anyone going to do about it? I mean, I don't know. Where's shit going?
this is the thing with politics that I've noticed over and over is that when there's a party in when the one party's in the presidency and the other party isn't, but then the other party just nitpicks every little thing they can for 4 years until they get elected. You know?
Well, yeah, man, because we have midterms coming up, so they're gonna be pushing shit for that.
They're pushing everything hard.
Right. So the other aspect of this is that we've got the intelligence agency stacked with Democratic, for the most part, Democratic sympathizers, or people who were appointed by Democrats who survive the administration because they're appointed, they're not elected.
Right.
And these people didn't expect Clinton to lose.
Yeah.
They just thought it was going to be, 8 more years of same old, and all the shenanigans they never thought they'd have to defend, but it's all coming home to roost. I had a deeper point. Oh yeah, and how much of I wonder if any of this has to do with the passing. The Clapper Tapper thing is interesting. That the names rhyme. That's pretty interesting too. But his reasoning, or at least he felt he could do it legally, and is that because of the change to the Smith-Mundt Act? That's what I want to know.
No, that's the one.
Of course, because he's off the hook. I mean, how is he going to be prosecuted if it's not against the law? Yes, that's the one where propaganda is no longer illegal. You can fucking lie to us all day long and all night long. You won't be
field under the Obama administration, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, and also during the Obama administration, this, I believe, or it might have been, pretty sure it was Obama, the CIA was allowed to do operations in the United States, within the country.
Oh, yeah, I did hear about that too. Mm-hmm.
So those two things are in progress, and like, okay, what's the fuck? So does that justify Clapper's Tapper leak? Clapper's Tapper. Jesus. Say that 10 times fast. I don't know. It's just, it's fucked up. And nobody seems to think it's fucked up except me and Mark Levin.
Well, I think that everybody knows it's fucked up, but also everybody has lost complete faith in the justice system or anything. So it's like, why keep watching, getting your hopes up, thinking that shit's going to happen when nothing, and it keeps being business as usual. Like, I've been hearing about sealed indictments and bullshit since freaking October, since QAnon, and nothing.
You got to play that clip that I sent you, Grim.
I can show
Play
you
it right now because it totally goes with what
the sealed documents. I mean, you can look at those online. Those are real.
At 1648.
Huh?
Why is nothing getting done?
I don't know. Because what's his face?
Like, all this shit's happening, but
nothing's happening. Right. There's a ton of everything's.
It's all noise.
You know what?
It's just a bunch of noise.
It's because of the event. That's why.
Right.
Oh
So
my God, no.
So
Jared,
what would be
What?
what would be like the alternate time? Trump was not in presidency.
Oh, where's Brisson?
What would be the alternate bitching that people would be doing? Hillary is not doing this, or Hillary is the best because of. Like,
if you listen to the newest episode of Cruising with Steak with John Brisson, we talk a little bit about going in between the Donald Trump dimension and the Hillary Clinton dimension, and how we slip in and out of it from time to time.
And what if you don't give a fuck?
What if you don't give a
fuck? Either way,
then you live a wonderful life if you don't give a fuck about any of that stuff. That's the best part.
I told Brisson to come in here because we're talking about him.
That'd be good. So
right.
Clip, Suzanne.
Modways was saying that he talked to an exchange with someone who could not be happy about Korean peace because of Trump. These people hate more than they like good developments. It's psychotic. I agree. It completely is psychotic.
And that, dude, I don't know, any way you look at this is a wonderful thing. Like, how long has this peninsula been at, like, they never even had a peace deal. It was just like a ceasefire at the time. Like, this is great. This is breakthrough, and nobody's giving him any credit.
There he is.
Speak of the devil.
Hey, I heard I was being talked about.
What's up, John?
What's going on, everybody?
Vanessa had a question about, what was, I forgot what it was now.
There's the Trump dimension.
The timelines. The Trump and the Hillary timeline.
I'm just saying, hi. Hey,
hi, Vanessa.
Hi.
Failed.
Whoever's laughing at me, quit it.
That's failed.
Bill's choking to death right now.
No, I'm just wondering.
He's choking.
Water came out of his nose.
Same question everybody has. Same question everyone has.
No,
I mean, maybe
nobody's got that.
All of a sudden, I
question.
feel like I really don't give a fuck about any of this shit. I really don't. I really do not care about politics. I don't care what happens around me. I don't look at the paper. I don't look at the television. I don't listen to the radio. I don't even listen to any of you, my closest friends, talk about any of it. I don't care about any of it.
No, I don't think any of us do care about it. However, if a Nazi police state is forming behind our backs, we'd like to keep...
What the hell am I going to do about it?
Well, that's what... We could do a lot about
what
it.
By caring,
in the street for
and
trying to stop
it, bitching about it.
I'm not bitching. Being aware of it and discussing it is a first step.
What's it going to do, Jer?
If enough people know, they won't allow it.
Enough of us are going to sit here on our asses and talk about it. What?
Okay.
Here's the thing.
We'll just give up.
I'm not saying that either. I can see both sides.
Can somebody please back me? Because I suddenly feel like a major conspiracy theorist.
No.
I totally get where you're coming from. I think there's so many people that are like that. We're just weird and, you know, we want to know what the fuck's going on because we want to know if we're going to have to, like, you know, stock up ammo or we're going to have, you know,
I don't think it's going to be that bad, but
you know, like pick off the weakest neighbors.
You're not getting my water.
Steal all my neighbor's Campbell soup.
I'm going to start eating cat food.
I'm stocked up on
spam.
I'm stocked up on ramen and alkaline water.
No, you gotta start eating those little cat food packages so that when people come around your house, they'd be like,
"There's an MRE."
It's only been a day and he's eating cat food. Get the fuck away from him.
Yes.
Dude, I've thought the same thing. Like, I would be so disgusting that nobody would come in here. Like, they wouldn't even try. Don't go to that house.
Says my 9-year-old daughter's like,
totally
you need to acquire a taste for cat food because it's not that bad.
And we're off topic.
Eat it?
The thing
anyway,
was the topic, the timeline.
My question is, why give a fuck if y'all started not giving a fuck and now y'all give a fuck again?
Well, we didn't all not give a fuck. That's the thing. Just you.
I never. What good is it doing, you guys?
For the reason I just stated, that if you don't keep track of what's going on, shit gets out of hand.
You just got to be aware.
You just need to be aware of it.
Like, yeah, awareness is important. I mean,
shit is totally out of hand. And
if you're
what
not,
I found out today, I need to tell John.
If you're not aware of it, you can't navigate past it.
Exactly.
If you're not aware of the present, you and the past, then how the hell can you prepare for the future?
The past doesn't exist, neither does the future. So what the hell do I care?
I'm very cynical like you.
Person. Okay. Yeah, I'm not okay, go ahead.
I'm very cynical like her. What the fuck does it matter? Because they have all the control and all the power, and once they decide they want to do whatever they want to do, we will have no power to stop it. But I know that, and I understand that feeling. But it's good to know when it's time to run to the hills. That's why I pay attention. It's good to know when you're gonna start getting lined up and shot. That's why I do it.
Right.
I don't think there's a solution, an individual solution. Yeah. I don't think there is. It's too late for that. And voting people in and out, is that whole system's corrupt, so that
of course
that's not going to work either. So there's really no recourse other than to tear it apart and make a new one, or let it crumble and run away from it.
But what about the people of us whose loot is getting stolen because we do not know how to?
Maybe that's happening.
We do not.
I don't even think that's happening.
It could be, even if it is or isn't.
I don't mean it in like a literal sense. I mean it in like.
We know how you mean it.
All right.
I'm just saying though, that's not affecting you. You're not allowed. You're not afraid of this shit.
Okay, so it's just like, how are you letting people treat you? So if you're gonna, like, let people walk all over you, well then, that's like loosh, right? Then they're getting the satisfaction that, they can walk all over you and you feel like shit. I mean, that's basically what loosh is in this world. So if you don't do that, then that's not going to happen to you.
Yeah, but for me, I guess everything's different. For me, paying attention to politics,
it's rubbing up against your beard.
Bullshit, this fake shit makes me fear. Makes me go into like this realm of fear and uncertainness. That's
you need to stop being fearful.
Well, then I need to not pay attention to this circus show. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, you need to separate with your emotion from because this is a show.
We're just observing
it's a fucking shit show.
You just said it. It's a circus. We enjoy the circus.
Why the hell am I going to give my energy to it?
We're not giving our energy to it. Stop. We're critiquing the circus. That's all.
I'm speaking for the people who
don't speak for them.
But what about them?
You only believe they exist. You only believe they exist.
To help those people who are like the first starting out, like higher side Chad. Fuck! I'm paranoid. My fucking telephone pole is watching
That's
me.
Everybody goes through that. Everybody goes
Vanessa,
through that.
Your fight or flight mode will kick in, and
it does.
If you trust yourself, you'll be fine. Just don't worry about it. That's what they are trying. That's what all this crap is about.
Yeah,
bread and circus.
Yeah, but we get to a point where we don't give a fuck about how other people feel and what they're going through, and I just think that's fucked up. Because we should always give a fuck.
But I would say most people are less informed than you are on what's going on.
And a lot of people don't give a crap about anything.
By choice. I'm not saying you're. I'm not saying you're ill-informed. I'm saying, like you said, you ignore it. You're not paying attention, so you're not informed. There's even people who are less informed than that.
Yeah, you listen to our big dumb mouth.
Right. You listen to enough shit.
And Vanessa's right about one thing is if the world comes to an end tomorrow, like let's say that tomorrow shit comes crashing down. I mean, there's enough nuclear power plants on this earth that'll melt down to destroy us 1,000,000 times over. So any apocalyptic Hollywood movie that you've ever seen where people actually survive some sort of apocalyptic type state, it wouldn't happen.
Have you been to Canada?
Yeah. I don't know.
Somebody somewhere would survive, I guess.
Too many nuclear power plants in the world. It would probably destroy the whole entire planet in one fall swoop. So I better hope there's not like a massive earthquake on.
Have you seen Chernobyl lately?
With all the
it's
deer,
like totally overgrown.
Yeah, I know.
True, but that's
wildlife.
That's one though. That's not
it's totally wild. No, there's no problems
even real?
in Fukushima. Right? Is it?
Well, with the nuclear part, I doubt it.
Okay, if you're going by scientific standards, okay.
What about?
But if the world's gonna end tomorrow, why the fuck do you even care about the nuclear power plant?
Wait, what's happening tomorrow?
If the world ended,
is Nibiru
that's what
coming?
I'm saying. You guys don't understand me. As I'm saying that if a major catastrophe happened, for example, the United States has 100 nuclear power plants, which means that if all of them went offline and they all melted down, we're all dead.
Totally.
Yeah, but a lot of us don't know if that's really real.
In the corner over here, I keep that over here in the corner of what am I gonna eat and where am I gonna go to the bathroom? How are my kids gonna go to school? What the fuck's happening right now?
Why the fuck would you care about school?
Because she'll be put in jail if she doesn't.
And I have to have my kids in government fucking indoctrinated school. I don't have a choice really.
If we were in an apocalyptic situation, I don't think school would be going on.
They're getting taught.
They're
getting taught how to be good.
If there's an apocalyptic situation that happens, you might as well just love your family, sit back, and light up a fatty because
that's right.
It's done.
Nope.
So, but I'm trying to keep that from happening.
You know what, John? I don't believe in that. I believe that the it's gonna be like Mad Max, man. Come on.
Dude,
we gotta have a Mad Max.
I want a Terminator one.
There's 100 nuclear power plants in the United States. There's 58 in France. There's 42.
Wait. All we need is a 2-week power outage nationwide to have a complete nuclear meltdown. If we had a power outage, the diesel fuel for all the generators could not be shipped to all the nuclear power plants. They wouldn't be able to distribute the fuel. Generators would fail, and all the plants would melt down.
That's going to kill all life on Earth. Literally,
You
just
guys
the
are
United States
shitting.
alone. Not
You're
400.
shitting.
We're not even going to make it 2 weeks. No internet for 3 days. People are going to be fucking killing each other in the streets. What are you talking about?
I think some of the people on Facebook, if they lose Facebook for say 8 hours,
they're going to go crazy.
Go crazy. Imagine, and plus you're at work. If you're at work and your job relies on internet, it's down. Like credit cards, all retail will be down, closed. They're not going to pay. They're not going to pay you to sit at work, so you're going to be home with no power and no internet. You know, I'll draw or whatever. I don't care. I can find something to do, but I can imagine a lot of people going ape shit. It's pretty funny.
I care right now because that's what's going to happen then. And when that happens, then I'm going to get me a can of dip and do stuff that I don't do normally right now because I'm just trying to be a good boy and live my life. But
give me a can of dip. I'm gonna sit on my porch and shoot alligators. Whee!
Yeah, I mean, pretty much that's about it. I'm gonna eat gluten and make myself sick because we're dead. So might as well, right? But
I'm gonna get me a pizza. Fuck you, gluten.
But why that hasn't happened yet? I'm still going to fight every day I can and learn every day I can because it's what this life is about. Is gaining wisdom and telling the archons to go fuck themselves.
Ankle biters.
It ain't easy. I mean, some days I want to give it up. Some days I'm afraid that one day I'll walk out of this shed of mine and be shot in the back of the head. You know, but
I don't think so.
It's what it is.
Oh, that won't happen, John.
That's never going to happen. Until you start treating people for cancer. Then you're a dead man.
Well, I've already talked about that a little bit on Fix Your Guts. So I guess I'm dead.
Oh, sorry, dude.
Find a cure for cancer and you're dead for sure.
Well, come back and haunt us so we can track down the killers.
The government.
Well, I'm going to be
don't care if you
reincarnated
know
anyway, so it is what it is.
The governments don't care if you know their secrets, but you fuck with pharmaceuticals, fucking bottom line.
Nah, they've killed people that knew their secrets, like what's his name? Beholden Horse, William Cooper. They killed him.
Hillary's hit list.
What about that CIA director?
How about
they all seem to start with a C.
How about Antonin Scalia?
How about Colby?
How about
Colby?
How about Scalia? Nobody talks about him.
Colby was in a river.
Colby was also a fuck, but
but he started talking.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess maybe he felt bad about Operation Phoenix, but
he really started talking. No, he was talking about a lot more than that.
Are you talking about? He was talking about
Ted Gunderson.
He's just talking about Franklin cover-up. He wasn't trying to co-opt that. Is that what you're telling me?
I don't know. I don't really know that much about that.
The guy was in. I mean, the guy head up the Operation Phoenix and the Phoenix program. For this, it was part of the CIA was going on during that time, and we all know who was in the Phoenix program. They talk about what's his name? What's his name? The writer for the Franklin cover-up, John DeCamp. He actually said he was part of the Phoenix program, and so was Lawrence.
So was the guy who outed all the. It's called the something papers.
Not the Pentagon. Panama Papers.
Was it?
Or the other ones. There was a Paradise Papers and the Panama Papers.
It was about the Vietnam War. So,
I don't know what that is.
And then they got him for like tax evasion and stuff.
What did I just hear about the Gulf of Tonkin was not started by? Damn, what was that? Well, I can't remember if it was a movie or not.
The Gulf of Tonkin wasn't started by.
Maybe this wasn't John's podcast.
That was the false flag to get us in Vietnam, right?
Yes, exactly, and it was actually perpetrated by someone, not our government, or
wasn't it the Philippines or no? I'm just throwing names.
I thought the Gulf of Tonkin was done by our government.
Or wasn't it the?
This is what I'm saying. I just heard someone recently talk about how it wasn't our government, and there's another group of people who's been doing all this bad shit. But I'm trying to remember if it was a TV show or a.
Carl doesn't agree with that.
I can't
he knows
remember.
It was the government.
Well, the government might have taken credit for it, but it might have been something else.
Project Gladio shit?
Gladio.
Operation
Gladio?
Yeah, I'm reading a book about Operation Gladio right now. That shit is CIA, the Vatican, Switzerland, drug deals, fascism. John Society has got it all. CIA.
Our government is the mob.
Well, they were the leave behind army, right? Like when we left World War II. Like that's.
I watched
it. Agents to fuck around with the country.
Have you guys seen that movie Spectre? It's a James Bond movie.
Oh, yes, excellent movie.
No. I started watching it tonight before the show. I'm like, whoa! The whole intro scene is completely wild. The credits. There's a giant.
Every Bond movie is.
This one is just like overtly tentacle hentai sexual. There's like these tentacles coming down over and grabbing people, and it was hot. I'm not saying anything bad about it, but besides that, there was this whole esoteric initiation ritual thing going on.
Yeah, but if you don't know how to use your brain like that,
it was disturbing, actually.
It is. It is disturbing if you don't know how to use your brain.
It's like NASA putting an octopus fucking sticker on a rocket, a fire rocket.
Or the Masons doing their ritual when they so-called went on the moon with their nutsack of Javelin fucking
Jerry, I saw you call that shit out on Twitter today.
What did I do?
You called out how like NASA canceled their fucking moon.
Yeah, of course.
Bullshit. Of course they did.
Oh yeah.
And people are just too fucking.
Nobody's ever going to the moon.
Happened?
NASA told Trump we ain't going to the moon. And it's funny because they had a recent article that came out that NASA just magically goes, We don't know how we ever crossed the Van Allen radiation belt. We don't know how to do it, even though like technology should advance by now. Can
Exactly.
you please help us? How do you cross the Van Allen radiation belt? I was like,
but
did
because
we do
most people are so.
No, we went
Wait,
for
didn't they watch the video with
we went
Pettit crying practically?
we went for a short time.
China.
We ran through it quick and back, right?
Did we even?
All that film,
China.
you know, it doesn't.
Yeah, it's like, 30 seconds on the ground or whatever, or 3 seconds.
Like half the time, I think.
You know, China, they're on the moon. They're saying they're on the moon all the time.
Like,
Oh, fuck, right.
Like half the time,
They
I believe
could be
we've never
telling the
been to
truth.
the moon, and the other half the time, I believe the secret space program is real. So I don't know which one it is. It's kind of like, you know.
I totally flip-flop.
Yeah, me too.
Who
like
the fuck
sometimes.
knows? I
Dude,
would
I
like to
think-
have $1 billion and fuck get on a jetpack and
Okay,
go up
let's-
there.
Let's just say this. You know how, they were hypothetically selling plots of land on the moon and stuff before? Let's say China was like, fuck you guys, we're buying the whole thing. And now they're like, no, US, you can't come up here. And it's just
Right,
some big
Right?
fucking game.
They just
Like it's
own the
no
whole shit.
conspiracy. It's just like we'll blow your ships up if you come to the moon.
Well, I mean,
Like it could be something ridiculous.
the United States already owns the moon, if you believe the Masonic ritual that all the
Yeah, right?
Mason astronauts did on there when
Mhm.
I don't
they
know.
the Ark of
Every Mason I've ever met doesn't seem like they're trying to rule the world.
Oh, they're not. No, they're
No,
not.
these guys
Right
are
about
The Hollywood
Now, I'm
thing.
talking about the people at the top. I'm talking about John Glenn.
the Red Inn Masons.
Yeah, I mean, they were up there, doing Masonic rituals on the moon. It's either they did them on the moon or they did them on a television set. That Stanley
They did them in the damn
Or-
sound studio. They were
Yes.
never on the moon.
So
And then you had
know
that dude
some-
like,
I worked with some Masons who were truck drivers like me, and dumb as fucking dirt. And
No
they're like, "No, we're
shit.
Masons." I'm like, these Masons don't control anything.
those
dude, I
people
went
at
to
the
high
top,
school with one. I went to
The
high school
quality
with one
people.
who's like, I went to high school with one who is like a really pretty high, like he's been doing it since, all right, I'm 40. He's been doing this shit since we left high school. So let's see, like 1996 I graduated. And he is been doing this shit for a long time. Kid's a dumbass. I love him to death, but he's a dumbass. And he's like, the last time I spoke to him, like, he doesn't know shit about shit. So I don't know what the hell
Shit.
these little
Yeah.
town Masons think they know about
Everything.
what or what.
It's just
And-
what it is. It's just a social thing to get business contacts.
But he's
That's
a
what
good
it
dude. Like,
is.
he's got a
At the
good
bottom.
heart
Drinking
and
club.
whatever.
Drinking
they're
club.
still doing those rituals. They do them all the time, whether they know
But
they're.
I don't think these people that just go in, and don't know anything about 33rd degree Masons or all the history and all that stuff. And, we're still not clear on what is actual history.
You know what? If space is real, I only follow the narrative of the blue chicken avians.
They are my god.
I mean,
I've made my mind up. The blue chicken people. Gotta be it.
I believe that the Masons, like your average Mason that just goes to the lodge, they don't know any better.
No, and I don't even think they're being involved in a ritual. Like,
No, I think they are.
we're involved in ritual. They do rituals. If you watch TV, you're fucking in a ritual.
I know that, Suzanne. I'm not disagreeing with you on that. Just
No, I know you're not. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to sound like I was arguing with you.
spelling. No, I
Suzanne, just wait.
believe
But you
that.
were.
I
Suzanne,
wasn't.
you're coming in a little hot, and
Okay.
everything you say sounds really angry.
Dude, it's not really even worth saying that.
No,
No, yeah, I'm not angry at all.
All right, check,
Like I
check
was
this,
totally agreeing with John.
check
I mean,
this
I'm
out.
just- Go ahead, Jerry.
No, this part right here. People who are watching to watch this. The way they did the iris here with the tentacles. It was creepy.
Oh, yeah.
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 Well, Q just had a post about some octopus thing.
Oh,
And I think Q is totally like, I just follow because I want to know what's going on because I'm nosy.
I could have wrote him. I could have been you and write better thing. Like
I know, right?
legitimately serious.
Why are you asking questions and then you fucking tell us the answer in the next sentence?
I'm not trying to like toot my own horn here. God,
But you're doing a good job.
it
Oh,
was just like,
I'm
hey,
kidding.
Jerry, my grandpa went to the hospital, and they literally told him pretty much, "You're 92 years old. There's nothing I can we can do is just go home and die. And I was like,
Thanks, buddy.
thanks for not doing your job. I mean, I guess I shouldn't. Me of all people shouldn't be surprised.
Well,
you
saw the report that came out this week that
yeah, that report.
It wasn't from it wasn't from Gartner. It was from like a group like Gartner for the medical profession, and they came out and said it's not in their good business sense to continue to cure people. They need to just treat them and let them get sicker. Pretty much.
Yep.
It's not profitable to cure people is what the net effect was.
And there's some paper out there that has like that's like the kill thing that they were talking about. You get it beyond a certain age, they're not going to want to treat you because they don't want to put the money in.
I mean, they didn't want to treat my disabled son either for that same method. I mean, I remember the head of the neonatal unit in the place where I live, the head pediatrician told me that, I mean, my son was better off dead, he'd live a better life. He wouldn't live a life, but he wouldn't live, I guess he wouldn't be suffering, even if it wasn't. It is what it is.
What's he got? What's he got wrong with him?
Well, he passed away.
He passed away.
Oh, I'm sorry. After they sent him home?
No, it was years later.
So.
He was what? How old was he?
95?
Almost 3.
No, he's talking about his son right now.
Oh, your son. I'm sorry.
Yeah, he was 3, right, John? Is that what you said?
Yeah, my grandfather's
yeah.
Yeah. Okay, that was today. Yeah, that's what I thought.
But no, if my grandpa died, I wouldn't be on the show.
Jerry's been in the chat, so he's only half listening.
Fuck you.
I mean,
you wish. I'm just kidding. I know.
The medical establishment save people. I mean, they've saved my life many times. They've saved it many times, but I've also seen them kill them too. Like a hate relationship.
I think they're really good at like traumatic, but when it comes to long-term care, they really drop the ball.
Yeah.
If I get shot.
But triage isn't curing anything. It's not a.
But that's what I'm saying is the medical establishment is good at broken bones and gunshots and, like a limb flies off. But when it comes to like, so you got a disease, we'll just kind of treat this symptom and that symptom until you die. That's your medical establishment.
Yeah, I mean, you're 100% right about that. I mean, that's how it is. I mean, it's a sad part of the medical establishment, but I mean, the whole thing's fucked. I mean, even the natural part, a lot of it's fucked too. Got a lot of fuckery in that.
There's fuckery everywhere.
They're just killing holistic doctors like crazy.
Yeah, they killed Dr. Jeffrey Bradstreet, like right down the street, because he was curing autistic kids with GC-MAC. I can't use the word
GMAC.
Helping
GC-MAC, yeah. GCMAQ, is it? I remember.
But yeah, and they shot him in his truck, and they had a suspicious death, but nothing came of that.
I think it's GCMAF.
MAF, yeah.
Yeah.
GCMAF, yeah.
When did that happen?
I like the guy who showed up face down in the water with like arrows in his back, not arrows, but he had like 2 gunshot wounds in the water. They found him in a river, and it was ruled a suicide. Sorry.
I mentioned GC-MAF. Don't kill me. Like he's like that's one of the.
What about the guy who was hanging in the tree in like a latex suit or something?
I like the dude
after he walked his dog.
You know what? Some of the best people who got suicided, if you look back to the Marconi murders, one guy actually put a noose around his neck, tied it to a tree, and then drove his car as fast as possible away from the tree to behead himself.
I mean, if you're gonna do it, I mean, just like James Foreman being pushed out the window out of the mental hospital that he was involuntarily committed to.
Olson?
I mean,
I'm gonna have to remember that.
Forstall, wasn't he in a hotel?
No, he was in
he was in a mental institution.
He was in a hospital. Yeah.
He was in a mental institution.
Who am I thinking of that was in the hotel that they pushed out the window?
Olson, the Wormwood guy.
Oh yeah.
The
I'm
MK
gonna
Ultra
say this
guy.
on the street now. I would never kill myself, and I'm in good health.
None of us would. Oh, I forgot to invite Nomad. Speaking of killing ourselves.
I thought about it for a while.
Everyone does.
I mean, yeah, even I.
Everyone thinks about it.
And then you're like, what the fuck? I can't do that.
Yeah, I can't.
Oh, I know.
What if it's the only life you get? I mean, come on.
I think. Yeah, I don't know what to say about that. Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. What?
The whole suicide thing.
It's good times.
My God, let me tell you,
Sometimes.
they had Michelle, the comedian at the White House Correspondent Dinner. She's dirty.
Who?
I don't know. Oh,
Fuck.
Nazi orgasms
Mm.
her pussy makes Jake tap orgasm.
They said this at the White House dinner?
Yeah, the White House Correspondent Dinner that Trump didn't go to. Instead, went to the rally. He didn't. Trump's best at rallies.
How do we know what they really said if Trump wasn't there?
This is how
Nor
you
was
know.
it recorded.
This is how you know that Trump means business. He's either at a rally or he's wearing a red tie. If you ever see Trump not wearing a red tie, he's cucked, and he'll never get anything good out.
He's cucked.
He's been wearing like blue ties lately.
Exactly. That's why Trump been shitty. And Trump wear a red tie tonight and just talk pure shit about everybody. So that's when you know Trump means business. He's wearing power red.
He rarely wears red. He
Look
doesn't-
at his fucking, look at the people he's appointed.
Talk about Pompeo.
Yeah,
And,
Pompeo. God.
They're all Zionists.
Well, of course, but I mean,
And
No.
how many people
New
in
term.
Congress?
New term for Zionist.
What?
Florist.
Florists? Okay, well, they're all
that's
florists.
called limousine.
And
That's a good one, Jerry. I like
catastrophe-
that.
Catastrophe thespians is flower pickers.
Ah, nice. So, how many florists do we have that are dual citizens? Do we have that are in Congress? I mean, it's an astronomical number.
I don't know what percent of them enjoy the flowers, but it's like 60. I just looked it up.
Yeah, 60%. I knew it was.
So while we're talking about that, while we're talking about florists, I'm also going to throw out Sandy Hook, so we can flag for that too.
No, what was that,
would be-
Jerry? It
that
was
would
the
be a-
town with the no that we can't name or something.
It's a
What was that?
rocky perch.
Oh, a rocky perch. Yeah, but we had that hive where we were like, okay, this is yeah, in that town that we can't name or whatever.
The town that shall remain nameless.
No, it was something like that.
I don't know. I have no idea.
No one died at Sandy Hook.pdf.
You're just determined
Is
to get
there
me
a
kicked off.
PDF?
Yeah, Jim Fetzer's. That's mine.
Jerry's not allowing me to have anymore because I'm gonna get the YouTube video Sandy Hook game.
As long as it's not in the title, I think you're good.
Oh my god, that's such a good
No. They have live scans of the audio.
It happened to Greg. They flagged one of his Sandy Hook videos and it was not in the title. They got the
man.
video. I'm sorry, Jerry. I apologize. We're gonna now call it the SH from now on.
The Rocky Perch incident.
Rocky Perch instance. I like that.
I want to start talking about Orlando, Boston. I need code words.
The list goes on.
The Rocky Perch in Florida. The Rocky Perch in Colorado.
Orlando nightclub, and I can verify that they did demolish it. I was down.
It wasn't even
the
open.
running-
It wasn't even open when the shooting happened.
The running
What about
kerfuffle.
Vegas,
The running kerfuffle.
All you need to do is look
Vegas
up their.
could be
All you need to do is look up their liquor license, John.
I know. It's
Mhm.
all
Yep.
it's all shits and giggles, and and it gets. Does
the
anybody
rolling
notice
dice incident.
I noticed that the farts flags are getting more ludicrous, like the naked shooter and the Murfreesboro
Yeah.
Waffle House. And then they report that the Waffle House has a revolving door when Waffle Houses don't have revolving doors.
Yeah, that's weird.
It's like I bet, like okay. So first of all, I've eaten at
That's the
Waffle House.
product placement aspect.
Dude, Waffle
Okay.
Houses are like total trash.
Wait, John,
Walk
John.
in.
But Waffle House is Waffle House is the product placement aspect of the incident.
Oh my god, I was just watching this whole thing about product placement in movies yesterday, Jerry.
Well, that's what these are.
hilarious.
Dunkin' Donuts was prevalent in the Floridian one.
Yes.
So the naked guy goes in there,
Eat more
opens
waffles
the
and
Waffle
donuts.
House, and some guy
Yeah.
without a gun stops him in
I
the
know, man.
vegetable which they claim had a revolving door. Even Michael Savage thought it was ludicrous. And I looked, and that one didn't have a revolving door, by the way. It had a vestibule like every goddamn Waffle House thing.
A man trap.
But the guy stopped him there without a gun and literally looked at him and say, "No, you don't. You put that gun down." And
Didn't say
he
the magic
stopped.
word.
And then he was a hero because he stopped. They paraded that man out like
He was
the
naked,
second
right?
coming
Wasn't he
Christ.
naked?
Dude, I've lived from New York to fucking southern Florida. Nobody ever had a revolving door at Waffle House.
No, they were wrong.
Ever.
Do they serve
know.
blue waffles?
Wait, so
basically,
he
going
was
on is
naked though,
product
wasn't he? He walked in there
Yes, he
naked.
was naked.
Okay.
And the guy stopped him in the vestibule. Okay, so the guy was leaving, right? Or the guy was leaving, and the other guy stopped in the vestibule and got I guess stopped or tackled him or whatever. I don't know what exactly happened with that. And so they were parading that guy around as a hero because they're like, see, he stopped him without having a gun. He's a hero. And I was like,
He was
okay.
naked. He stopped a naked man.
Stopped a naked man, yeah.
He just didn't want his 12-year-old daughter to see a penis, so he fucking tackled him.
A penis bigger than his.
Dude, I totally reverted to like my first day conspiracy days today. I went out to dump some watermelon for Bigfoot in my fucking water trench in the side of my yard, and there's a sheriff just like sitting. I live on a private road. Like Grimm has seen my land. Like the road is really private. Like nobody comes down there unless you need to come down there, unless you live there, or if you need to come down there for some reason. And there's a cop straight stop at the end of my driveway, and I walk out of my house. I'm like pissed off at my kids and all this, and I'm like, "What the fuck, pig? Why you sit at the end of my driveway?" Like, wait, what if he just turned me? What if he just turned me? And I dumped my shit fucking lake, the river, for fucking Sasquatch, whoever the hell the rabid raccoon that apparently lives around here. And I'm like, dude, why is there a fucking cop parked? He just sat there and looked at me. And I live in the middle Rim. You've seen like my house.
It's a dead end. It's a dead end road. But
maybe he's doing paperwork.
Looking at me.
Was he chasing?
Who knows why he was
Bigfoot?
there? But the whole
He could have been chasing Bigfoot.
I just felt like telling the story of I live on a private road and I'm dumping cantaloupe.
And you're getting faked out.
With my. And I'm getting faked out here. Just thought I'd change the subject for a minute.
You know what? I think you're a targeted individual now.
Fuck that. I make special
perfume
out of cantaloupe fucking compost for Bigfoot.
Steve came home the other night. There was a cop, I guess, apparently at Highway Patrol sitting across the road.
Suzanne, wait a sec. I have to say hi to Hi, Trisha. Like she says, hi, Jerry.
Hi, Trisha.
Hi, Trisha.
I'm the Suzanne that was in your live chat.
Trisha,
the other day.
Don't know me,
Hello, Trisha.
Last week.
We could know each other. We could be fun.
Hold on. I gotta stop and say, hi, Nomad.
I know. Hi, Nomad.
Oh, Nomad.
Hi, Grim.
What up, Nomad?
Hey, Vanessa.
Hey.
Yeah, soon, Vanessa, you're gonna be getting gang stalked.
Dude, I've already noticed that.
Then gang rape.
Gang rape.
No gang raping.
No gang raping.
By midget
apparently I'm
refugees.
I'm the drunk woman on Hive.
You're not drunk tonight. And you're staying out to
We've all been the drunk woman on Hive.
You're being good tonight.
Only Saturday nights do I get ever.
Oh shit! I think I was drunk.
Yeah, but
Saturday last time. Was I?
I don't remember. You didn't disrupt anything though.
Oh, okay. I remember talking to you for a long time afterwards, Jerry.
We did talk for a long time afterwards. With
some probably a great chat.
That I said.
With who? Oh, was it Adam?
No, it was conspiracy guy. No,
I don't remember.
It was some random people that I didn't know.
Could you be more vague?
Memory is hard sometimes.
I don't know what
man.
That's right. Edwin Beverly says you can't rape the willing. I said, damn straight.
That is true.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
Pretty sure I'm immune to it.
Dude, my son is like obsessed with it. like unnaturally obsessed with Bigfoot.
To be raped by, or?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay,
no.
okay, okay, okay. Sorry.
Over the line, Jerry. Over the line.
Jerry,
No, that
Too
had to be
soon?
clarified.
Too soon? Sorry,
soon.
I'm sorry, John. I'm totally goofing around.
I know you are. Now, if he was like 16, I would have been like, "That's pretty funny." But 8,
I have no idea how old he was.
But yeah, he's like unnaturally obsessed. Like he dreams about Bigfoot. Like talks to me about him and aliens. Like constant.
At least we're not shameless like the lady who's like, I make perfume for Bigfoot. Dude, if there were a Bigfoot, it would be in my backyard with this rabid raccoon that some dude like apparently shot 7 times up the street the other morning. He scrapes our road because it gets so fucked up that you can't even drive down it. And he stops and he's like, hey, you! I had to shoot the raccoon like 7 times the other morning because that shit's rabid. Like, don't let your kids out there. I'm like, dude, my kids go out there anyway. And he's like, well, it's rabid and it's coming from somewhere.
God.
And now everybody in the whole road is rabid, it's rabid, it's rabid. The snakes are rabid. The fucking falcons are rabid. The owls are rabid. The mice are rabid.
Wait, there's someone that makes perfume for Bigfoot?
Dude,
because I need some of that perfume.
Jerry, I know you know him.
Dude, I'll send you a
I
bottle
wasn't
moment.
actually listening to what you're saying. I'm sorry. What?
Somebody knows what I'm talking about.
To my point earlier when you said "fuck you."
Well, tonight I was kidding to you, and yes, I wasn't, Chad.
I know you were kidding.
There's some woman who's been on
I'm just saying I was right.
About what? What she talk about?
She makes fucking some damn perfume. And then there's another old woman who makes fucking pound cake for Bigfoot. I'm not crazy.
Oh, I don't have
There's
a
a
listen.
lot of people that do stuff like that.
Oh,
I don't listen
Brim,
to Bigfoot podcasts. So.
It's true. It was on what
Thank
podcast
you.
was that?
Mike.
No, it's true.
OPM.
Was it our big mouth?
Yes.
Probably. Memory's hard. We already went over this.
Yep.
Where's James Cruz to teach us shit when we need him?
No, there is some lady though that's like makes special perfume and makes actual fucking glue.
And you listen to a podcast with her?
No, I heard of it one time with
Okay,
on YouTube. But she makes like actual money from making like Bigfoot musk. She makes like Bigfoot musk for her Bigfoot that come in her yard. And it's like, woman, I live in North Carolina. If anything were gonna happen,
so
it'd
do
be in
I.
my backyard.
Oh,
North Carolina buddies.
North Carolina
I live
buddies.
in Fayetteville, North Carolina. I'm born and bred from Fayetteville. Woohoo!
Yeah, but I live like right outside of Jacksonville and outside of Camp
Oh, God,
Lejeune
you
and
live
right
towards
on
the
top of
coast.
the ocean. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna be
On
somewhere
top
where
of the
nothing happens.
ocean. I love that song.
Wait, it's good to know that
I
there's
did
people out
too.
there feeding
Oh my
pancakes
God.
to Bigfoot.
Except I see crazy lights
Oh,
and
absolutely.
nobody ever believes
Walk
me.
on the ocean.
Nobody's like, oh, you saw some crazy lights. Dude, I saw some crazy shit in the sky last night. I looked out my window and I saw like this
You got
bright
pictures?
ass. Fuck you, Jerry. No,
I'm just asking.
Dude, it was like 3.
Pictures or it didn't
It
happen.
was like 3:40 in the morning, and I'm like getting up to pee, and I see this bright orange sparkly thing. I'm like, that's just Mars. I'm like, that is not fucking Mars.
I
Nobody's
guarantee
gonna believe me anyway.
It was probably
there's a bum that lives around Vanessa's house that eats watermelons. and
no.
pound cake.
Grim went home.
He's living the life.
Dude,
Lee, you're leaving us for time phone hack. Seriously.
Time for whatever.
the
Literally.
neighbors who own like the property next to us have one of those duck like hunting
The
pets
goats?
up in the tree. And dude, like my son and I, he's begging me to go sit up here at midnight. I'm like, fine, hey, we're gonna sit in this shit tonight. You're gonna get scared as shit. And my son and I, he's 8. We go up and we sit in this duck hunting thing at like midnight, and you hear the creepiest shit.
Like a decoy
in the
tent?
middle-
No, it's a duck blind or a deer blind.
It's just a fucking, you climb up the little
Okay,
stairs
okay.
and you sit in there, and it's like a camouflage
It's a blind.
turf that you feel real.
Sorry for asking.
The ether. You could go back in
You know
time.
the ether. Where is James Cruz? But I try to explain
He's always
to a
with us.
7-year-old.
I'm going
Explaining to a 7-year-old have you ever tried to explain to a 7-year-old like
No.
the shit that is possible around here, like in the world in general? Like they're just like, whoa.
Try explaining it to your fucking 30-year-old.
They're on like a constant trip, and you're just like, dude, it's real. And they're like, whoa, still find it. 7-year-olds are amazing. Even 10-year-olds.
When I took my son to NASA when we went to Houston, I was like, yeah, we never. And he was like, it's not what I learned, and I was like, yeah, okay. It was
Dude, they'll like if you got to be careful because my 9-year-old was like, dude, the Earth is flat. When I thought the Earth was flat, I was like, no, dude, the Earth is not flat. I don't know if it is or not. You need to like think for yourself.
I'm the same way. I've never been to space, so there's a 1% chance that the Earth is flat. So.
Right.
What timeline are we living when Obama retweets
signs like Kanye's baseball cap or some bullshit on Twitter, and then Grim burns my eyeballs with it?
Obama just tweeted back to Kanye. Like, what kind of world am I living in?
The best timeline, obviously.
Is it even real anymore? This is the best timeline.
I've always had a soft spot for my boy Kanye. Okay.
I wish I would have lived in the 60s. Like
my son Ben, who's 18, his name, he's got it, one of his names or whatever online is Kanye's Quest.
Hey, Trish.
Hi, Jerry. Hi, everyone.
How are you?
I'm good. I've just got home about half an hour ago.
Did we have fun?
Yes.
Were you at the pub?
Hi, everyone.
Hi, Trish.
Hello, person I don't know, but I'm now meeting for the first time. How are you today?
Trish is his name is
the best.
His name
First meeting
is failed.
I can't see who's speaking. Hi to everybody.
Hey, so using Zoom, if you press the gallery view in the upper right corner, where it says gallery view.
Hold on. Yeah.
And then stop your YouTube video. Or mute it.
Oh, mute it would help, wouldn't it?
Yeah. But if you put to gallery view, you should see everybody in here at once.
You have to excuse me. I've just got home and it's like 4:30 a.m. So.
And you're trashed.
Oh, you're in the future?
She is.
I'm not trashed. No.
Finally, we have a time traveler. Fuck.
Time travelers. It's about time.
What's it like in the future?
You guys are crazy.
Tell me what crypto to invest in right now.
Litecoin. No. Trisha's a numerologist and intuitive and tarot reader and a bunch of other shit. She's
gonna be on the show Wednesday. It's a Wednesday, Jerry.
On my show?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're gonna be on my show Wednesday. Trisha's gonna be on May 23rd. 4 weeks. Looking forward to that. That's all.
It's freezing here. I just have to say.
It's like
cheers, everybody.
I think it's 68. Cheers.
I was watching a live stream when it was snowing like crazy.
Mm.
All right, back in February.
Yeah, we don't normally get much snow here anymore.
Yeah. It was crazy.
And we had about 3 days of sunshine. It was like summer, and then now we've got torrential rain. It's freezing again.
What's it?
Well, it's cold tonight.
Yeah, it's not bad here. I think it's 70 degrees here.
It's always cold here, so I can't complain.
Yeah.
Where are you, Mr. Failed?
I'm in Canada.
He's right by Anya.
Oh.
Like within miles. Like they could hook up.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh.
I've never been to Canada, but I like Canada. It seems like a bit more chilled than USA.
No,
it's a lot less of us. That's why
it's more. It's more chill in that that people stay in line because it's pretty draconian up there, communist. But
I think it comes and goes with the tide.
I like the Canadian accent.
I like your accent too.
Thank you.
I don't even think that I have an accent, but I probably sound way different than all these other
Tell
guys.
us about say something with progress, project, and against in it. A sentence with those words.
I'm against all the projects in the world that are against progress.
Against.
Say farmers' fields.
He doesn't say progress. Like, we need Graham in here. Graham's a better Canadian than Failed is. I'm
Graham's
so
got the
sorry,
big-
Trish.
I don't drive around any farmers' fields anymore.
No.
Farmers'
Or walk
fields.
through them.
Take
But
off.
failed. Get angry and say farmers' field.
The show has no purpose, Trish. We just sit around and bullshit.
I was just going to say, what's the conversation like?
Well, we were talking about some
Yeah.
political shit, and then we got into Spectre with the
creepy.
and now we're talking about my accent.
Grim, did you ever get the thing I sent you that I wanted you to play?
Yeah, and then a bunch of things came up. And what time did you want to start it?
16:48, and it's literally like maybe a minute.
Right. The other
probably
part,
less.
The other part of the other topic tonight we're going to talk about is vaccination and Bill Gates' initiative to vaccinate the world with the universal flu vaccine. Because he said 33.
I don't have the flu vaccine.
No, neither do I. But
I refuse it.
Suzanne, what do you say? 33 million people would die?
33 million.
33. That was
Those
the
were the
tip-off.
headlines, but when you went in and read the story, it said over 30 million.
So
why? That's not me. I'm holding my stupid mic.
I told Suzanne about the
whiskers.
doctor that currently made fun of me for not giving my child the flu vaccine.
Did you kick him in the balls?
Dude, he's straight up big, arrogant, fat man who like totally was like, did you breastfeed till you were 11, till they were 11? I'm like, is this dude seriously saying this to me?
Well, they're
And
11.
that's just from the flu vaccine. Jesus.
Wish I got
Dude,
breastfed till I was
like,
11.
he's like, she's still wearing a diaper?
That's
I'm
weird,
like,
Jay.
Like I
breastfed my son, but not till he was 11.
I was
A
so
doctor
blown
actually
away.
said that to you, Vanessa?
Yes, I was.
Why?
Even Beta was like, Mama, I'm not going back to that doctor ever again. I was like, honey, we are never
Was
going
it
back
like a
again, I
normal white
promise
guy?
you.
You need to like start standing up for yourself. People
Dude,
cannot treat
my
you like
face
that.
No,
turned
she
beet
can't.
red.
See, she can't.
My face turned beet red, and I was like,
You should
"Nah,
just not
dude,
engage those
I don't
people
still
because
breastfeed my children.
he
Like, she's
he
almost
can
11.
report you to DCFS though.
Dude, I
Oh,
can
fuck,
report
you're
it to
right.
TPS, all kinds of shit, because my name's
Right.
up in the system, because I'm a
They
single
take our
mother,
kids,
and it
Trish,
blows.
just as much as they take your kids.
It makes me so mad,
The
dude.
government takes our kids away just as much as your government takes your kids away.
Yeah, I'm a single mum, and my son's supposed to have the flu vaccine because he's got a heart condition, and I stopped him having it years ago, which was a big risk when they tell you he really needs it because it could,
Sure.
compromise his life. And I refused to take him.
And
I didn't know much about it then, but something in me intuitively, because my father had a heart bypass and he was like scared to death by the doctors, had flu vaccine every year, and he'd end up with the flu.
he was a smart Mason. Right?
He's no longer here with us.
How old is your son, if you don't mind me asking?
He's 19 now.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I've never
But he's
had the
supposed to
flu.
have had it like from day one every year. And I did used to take him for so many years, and then I stopped taking him.
Did I tell you about my daughter and her heart
Yes.
condition? Okay.
Yeah, because that was something we said, another thing that's in common.
Yeah. And the shirt today, my shirt that I had on earlier that matched that graphic on your video was crazy.
That's spooky. And Anya sent me that, and I said, oh, I like that one. So we picked that as the thumbnail.
And I had two shirts today, and I pulled that one out of mine. Everybody's grandfather was a Mason, Shannon. So anyway, we were going to talk about the vaccines. And I don't think anyone thinks that vaccines are bad. It's the carrier that they're in. That's what has all the crap in it. Well, I mean, vaccines themselves may be bad. I don't know.
Well, look in the military, how many I must have had that they were like both arms at once.
And I love all the people who claim, like space program people who claim that all the vaccines are for alien viruses that you may encounter.
A lot of this is new to me, by the way.
Alien stuff?
Where's that coming from?
Ooh,
Suzanne.
cat.
My cats? Oh.
No, it's that guy.
That's Grimsteak.
You guys
yeah.
want to get weird? I'll get weird.
No.
My cat's in the window. She's usually on camera.
You need to go. Trish needs to go on your podcast.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sure.
Set that up.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And you should have John on your show. Because
Where
he's
did John
all
go?
about, he's right here.
Oh, there's John.
John.
Was that John I asked about last time, or was that someone else? No, that was someone else.
Who's making all the noise?
I don't know who that is.
Everybody.
What does John do?
John.
What?
Tell Trish what you do.
I'm the worst salesman ever.
He's about probiotics, gut health.
I'm a natural
health
author and coach.
Awesome. You have to come on my channel. I'll interview you because I'm into all things like that.
Yeah, anytime. Just let me know.
I'll send
Jerry,
you.
you're gonna have to hook me up with these guys.
You need to join our Discord.
Yeah, once you're in the Discord, I mean that's that's the way to do it.
Yeah, that's all new to me. My son knows about all this stuff, but I've joined Discord actually, but I've not done anything with it.
So you get the app, and then there are multiple Discord. Get the good ones rooms, right? Like chat rooms, and in each room there's different channels. So there's different sub rooms within the giant room. So we have a cruising with Steak one that we all pretty much hang on.
Well, I have signed up for it.
What?
But
hold on.
What?
Discord.
No. What, John?
Sorry.
I know it's rude to ask.
Wait. John, I can barely hear
John,
you.
well.
You guys not hear me now?
A little
Can you hear me
bit
better now?
Yeah, better, much.
Okay. Trish, how well do you know R. Wayne Steiger?
Right, very well, ish. I was live with him last night.
Buckle up.
Okay, dokie.
Not now.
Not now.
Is this going to be bad?
It could be.
It depends on what your definition of bad is.
You should talk about it privately, probably.
I will.
But I want to hear it too.
It's really spooky because Wayne and I have the exact same. I don't know if you're going to like this. We've got the exact same birthday, same life path number.
Right.
In fact, our whole numerology chart is the same apart from one number.
I really thought he was a lot older than you.
Yeah, but he's 18 years older, but it still gives us the same life path number.
That's where I saw you, Trish. I
80
saw you
years?
with him on his show. Now I remember.
I was live with him last night and Wednesday.
Oh my God, this is synchronicity. Jerry, I gotta go for a few minutes. I'll be back a little bit later. Intuition's too off the charts. It's
All right,
too
dude.
high.
Talk to you. Go chill. Go
It's
chill.
Scorpio full moon.
Deep breaths. Get a brown paper bag.
I will. I'll good night, you guys.
All right. Bye.
John, okay?
Breathe in, breathe out.
What the hell? Trisha, what did you do?
Nothing. There were too many synchronicities in here for that.
I'm kidding.
Graham! See, we just talked. We talk
My
about.
light feels really bright, but then if I turn it off,
Oh, and
I'm
he's
gonna be
gone.
so dark. No, that's too dark.
Light a candle.
There you go. Mood lighting.
What happened, John?
Yeah, I wasn't the
John
one that was
experienced
making
an
that weird
intuitive
noise.
/ synchronistic / deja vu moment of some sort. Which,
Yeah, I know. I heard.
Yeah, what's happened to him? What did it say?
somebody asked in chat. I'm explaining what happened. So he needed to go relax for a second.
Had to process it.
It's not a bad thing.
No.
He's just
Like
not.
I said, you hit him right in the heart shot.
I take it as a compliment, whatever it is.
Oh, it's not. No, it's nothing bad at all. It's just the way John works. No, honest, awesome dude. Seriously, and the whole reason I brought him in here was
I'm
to
sure he'll explain it to me.
have him explain his concept of the two timelines that we keep switching back and forth on. When Hillary Clinton, so basically said at the election the timeline split. This isn't his theory, but this analogy. Timeline split. So there's a timeline where Hillary won, and there's one where Trump won, and we live in the one where Trump won, but sometimes aspects of the other one bleed into here. And Vanessa had asked earlier about it, and that's why I was like, get John here talking. Yeah, John's mind got blown. I'm not sure why.
Mine, Carl.
John's mind go. Well, I've done
There were
something.
too many synchronicities with Trisha.
Yeah, that I don't know about.
I think that's awesome. You guys all have a lot to talk about.
But that's my job in this world, is to like make that happen.
People
apparently, because it happens to me all the time when people come in here like, "Oh my God, this is crazy that you're here and you're here," and all. You know how it is.
John hasn't got the same birthday as me as well, has he? Or something crazy like that.
But you're a Gemini.
Mm.
Same.
5 planets in Gemini. It's a bit crazy, right?
I have a crazy chart. I have no.
Well, Vedic way, 5 planets in Gemini.
I think
I
Suzanne.
heard it was going to be crazy till the 29th.
Because Uranus and Taurus, right? And,
Yeah.
And Pluto's
We
retrograde.
talked about this last night.
Yeah.
I know what my chart is now because Jerry made.
Oh yeah, Jerry made all our charts that one night.
Yeah.
Have you got the Cosmic Insights app?
Nope, but I can get it.
Wait, Jerry, I didn't get a chart.
You didn't
It's
give me
pretty
a
good because I did my chart on there, and then it gives you all the videos, so you can learn about all the next chakras and what everything means in layman's terms for people like me.
Oh.
What year were you born, Trisha?
73.
Whose alarm's going off?
It's birds.
That's Nomad.
Frogs.
Frogs.
Frogs. Peepers.
It's the frog.
Sorry, what was that?
Frogs.
Tree frogs.
That's
I
pretty.
don't know who was it. Grimstate asked me what year I was born.
It was Nomad. Can you not see him?
No.
Are you on your
She
phone?
doesn't have the multi-screen up.
He doesn't have a camera, so it doesn't.
She's got a camera. Are you on your phone or on your computer?
He said Nomad doesn't have a camera.
I know.
He doesn't.
I know.
Straight
Let me shush, please.
Nobody know what Nomad looks like yet.
Trish, are you on your phone or on your computer?
That's not true, though.
Computer.
Jerry and I do.
So if you maximize
And
the
Dale
Zoom app
and
all the
Grim.
way, guys, hold on a second.
Yeah.
If you make the window as big as you can in the upper right, you should see where it says, it should say gallery view.
Yeah, got it.
Click it. And it should change to where you can see everybody at once.
Nomad's grey.
Yes, he's not
Yeah,
on
I don't
camera.
have the camera on.
Camera.
But I wasn't sure who said what year were you born, Trisha?
They should go
Yeah,
green.
that was me, Nomad, and also what
Oh,
during June or
19th of June, 73.
all right, June 15th here,
Oh, nice.
So yeah,
84.
Nomad, if you send me your
April?
info, I'll do your chart.
I mean,
Yeah, June
Aries.
15th, 1984.
I need your birth time and your location too, but I don't want to know.
9:30 East Coast.
You didn't say it fast enough, Jer.
Send it to me in a message on Discord.
All right, I can do that.
Yeah, I've got a Trump ascendant.
So, you want to play that video now?
Oh, that clip?
Yeah, sure. Let's get back to the vaccine discussion.
Everybody's got to mute so it doesn't cut out because any sound will mess it up, I think. So we're gonna play this. Here it
Okay.
comes.
Peter Strzok and his mistress Lisa Page. Oh yeah, can we get the information, please? I'm sick of just hearing these names. Blah blah blah. IG. Where the hell is the IG report? Where is everything? And don't tell me to stop. Calm down. They are messing with the American people. Do you understand what a situation we're in, where the intelligence community is going after the American people? The people that have the plan, okay? Trust the plan, okay? They need to start doing shit. You need to start stepping up. I don't know the plan. I can't act on the plan. I don't know the plan. You guys said that you guys have a plan. It needs to start being enacted, or you guys step it up. Turn up the heat. Turn the heat up. John Brennan was involved in the attempted coup. Yeah, no shit, Sherlock. Oh,
Okay,
man.
that's
Have a good night.
All right.
Who is it? Who is
it?
that?
God, that was
This is very
Research
fun.
Revolution. It's James Munder. Oh my God, it was so hilarious. I don't know the plan.
He doesn't know the plan.
He's talking about the Q people, though.
Yes, I know. He was totally into Q. Like, he was doing all the things. And then he started to go, wait a minute. Like, he started to get it.
Which video was it?
No, this is fucked up.
It's all a distraction.
Which video was it?
What's the video called? Should I put it in our Discord?
Is Q from Paul Zach InfoWars, that one? No.
Here.
No. It's
Here, I'll throw
Yeah,
it in,
yeah. None of it's, I mean, he hasn't posted anything in 2 months.
No, yes, he has. James Munder, Research Revolution. Yeah, that was from let's see,
No,
what's
okay.
it called? That was from us.
I got it. I got it.
Step up the plan. Q Brennan issues warning to POTUS.
He did. Brennan went ape shit on Twitter a couple weeks ago. Like, you're gonna hang. Or so, it was really violent language.
He said that to Trump.
It was really.
And that was the same time he was making the rounds on like all the news networks too, saying the same shit. So they were pushing something real hard.
The narrative that they were, I don't know what they were doing.
What was the narrative?
The Russians colluded.
They were pushing something real hard.
Yeah, they're pushing the Russian story. They figure if they can convince the public, somehow Mueller will find evidence, but that's not the case. And I think more importantly, at the end of the Mark Levin video, he talked about the group of internet billionaires from Silicon Valley and movie stars who have formed a lawsuit against Trump for colluding. In addition to the DNC one that's going on. Yeah. So they're going to continue the investigation on their own.
Okay, I need to see these fucking court documents and filings because I pretty much believe everything we're being fed is bullshit.
Probably is.
I agree.
You know, seriously.
Oh, of course it is.
Like, this is the gilded. Oh my God, that song from Rush came on today when I was driving home from the grocery store.
Sounds like you turned it up and started rocking out.
I totally was rocking out. I was like, yeah, the world's a fucking gilded stage. God damn it. And we are merely players. So, yeah. I was down the whole rabbit hole. I got to tell John about that whole stuff I found out today. Nobody even knows about that shit. There's nobody talking about it. What? 61 views on that video.
But
so
it was
the question
boring.
Is, do you continue to be a player?
How the World Bank is taking over this, is selling, catastrophe insurance through the health department, or, it's health insurance or whatever. That's the whole Bill Gates thing. But yet it goes way deep. And nobody's talking about that. No, they're talking about the fucking Russians. The Russians are probably laughing their asses off at us going, God, those fucking Americans are so retarded. Why do they listen to their news?
Exactly. Why indeed? Why
Words
indeed?
of wisdom right there.
That's why I don't listen to the news.
No, we don't either.
Trisha,
But
I didn't really think I did either, but we were talking last night and Jerry was bringing up like everything relevant. I'm like, yeah, I heard about that. Yeah, I heard about it. And I realized I do. It totally gets in somehow.
But you watch YouTube, and that's where you get your news from,
Yeah, and Jerry's Twitter posts. Because I can't go on Twitter.
Why?
Twitter triggers me.
I try to avoid the news as much as possible. I don't watch the news as on TV because I don't watch TV.
Yeah, me either.
Here's Suzanne going on Twitter. She just instantly starts trolling Jerry Brown. Just instantly.
Yeah, she can't stay away from it. Jerry Brown. That's okay.
Correct.
Anything I post gets trolled by Chanter. So this was an article.
I
see the shadow.
Musk wants to come in.
Hey, Shadow.
She nearly got skinned by my son earlier. Not literally, obviously, wouldn't hurt the cat. He was at the computer and we got like a 21-inch computer screen, and she pushed the screen on him, and he was eating cereal, and a whole bowl of cereal, milk went everywhere, and it's like, yeah,
wow,
£3,000 computer nearly got fried.
Yeah, cats are shits like that.
I just poured a bowl of cereal for the first time in years, like 2 seconds ago.
I was doing a reading and she did the same to me yesterday and knocked the screen on me. So that's 2 nights on the trot. She's knocked the screen.
Oh man.
On one of us. So she's trying to tell us something.
She doesn't like that screen.
Did you ever eat those?
Or somebody on it.
The generic Cocoa Pebbles.
He had Cocoa Pops and cornflakes. Not the most healthy, but he loves. Before he went to the gym. So it's probably a bit like Cocoa Pops.
Graham, what kind of cereal are you eating?
I can't tell you.
I'm going to say something very...
I think it's something fruity.
Yeah, it's probably some sort of like 75 grain brands cereal.
No. This is like I had a hard time deciding.
Classified.
I was craving cereal, and I haven't eaten it in like 3 years because I quit it.
It's gonna make you shit like a rabbit.
Fucking got honeycomb.
Oh my god, honeycomb is my favorite.
Honeycomb's
And you
big.
know what?
Yeah.
They shafted us now. They're all the same size now. They used to be all different sizes back in the day.
They're always the same size.
I noticed it.
Really?
No, they're
I think I have.
they're totally small now.
Yeah,
it's like 10.5 ounce for the little
Oh,
one.
yeah,
and
they're
then you get one that's a
smaller.
little. Then the next size up is like 14 ounces, and the
Guys,
box doesn't really look any bigger.
this sounds like Mandela effect.
No, it's just that
Oh my
they're
God.
ripping us off.
And they make like 6 different sizes of cereal because they're all competing for shelf space. And the more varieties of sizes they have, the more they can convince the grocery stores to stock on their
No, sizes of the pieces in the cereal. Like,
Oh, I thought you were talking
they
about
used to
box
have
size.
random.
Size doesn't matter, Brad.
Like big
Size
honeycombs and small honeycombs. Now they're all the same size.
I can see this could go very wrong.
It will, I'm sure.
Size matters.
It usually does.
Yeah, we already
Yeah, we were
got.
doing a live earlier about
The big ones used to cut my mouth.
Well,
Gosh, I hate
That's
that.
what she said.
Fail, don't share that. Witches are gonna get a hold of that and screw your life up. Get that off the screen.
No one's gonna screw his life up. Make it,
No
make it bigger,
way.
failed. Make it bigger, like your
Where am I
girlfriend
going to make
say.
it bigger, though?
I don't know. Try it
What
with
is
your mouse wheel.
Oh, Aries. Lots of Aries.
Yeah, that's me.
Why is it cut off? Oh, jeez. I'll show.
Sun and
Oh,
Aries.
I'm moving
God,
it.
jeez.
It's on my phone.
jeez, Rick.
Don't make Dad mad, failed.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez. Get there. Stop. What
Oh
is
my
that?
gosh.
What does that mean?
Like
Tell me
the
what that means.
beef.
What is this? What am I looking at?
We didn't ask you on for a dog and pony show, by the way.
She's not going to read this. I'm going to read it.
I'm
Whose
reading
chance
it.
has failed?
It's failed
Is this
chart.
Mr.
That was
Mr.
a
Failed.
joke.
That's me.
His new name is Thunder, though. If that matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, Thunder.
Oh, he's got a lot of retrograde.
I see that. Saturn retrograde in your chart. That's good. So you aren't affected as badly by Saturn retrogrades.
I've got Saturn retrograde actually. Is that we're not affected as much then?
That's what I've been told,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Fuck.
I'm still learning.
Is was that Vedic or Western? You just
That was Western. I have a chart. I have a system called Open Astro. It's an open source astrological chart generator.
My thing just died. My phone won't, connect. So sorry.
Sun, Moon, and Venus and Aries. Yeah, he'll be very impulsive, I'd say. From what the little I know.
Gatorade. Saturn
Gatorade?
Gatorade. I think Pluto's retrograde right now, or going to be.
Yeah, it went on the 22nd, I think.
Yeah, and I don't know what that's supposed to be. I don't remember now. That lady that you turned me on to, thank you, by the Aluna Ash woman.
Oh, she's cool. Yeah,
Yeah, she's cool. She had a thing all about the retrograde and how Pluto is going to affect Uranus and all that stuff. Okay, Modwiz, I gotcha. Yeah, she's good. Maybe I'll get her on my show. Anyway.
I know. I want to get her. I did leave her a message. She used to come in my chat and have mini readings, and I've not seen her for a while. I'd love to do a live with her actually.
She sounds like she's been busy.
Oh, she's been. I don't know, choose my words carefully. She's been getting them videos out a lot.
And she's like, I made this between readings. Oh my God.
Been smashing them out, let's say.
Totally. And they're all interesting too, even the ones that aren't for me. Like,
yeah. I like the twin flame stuff originally, but then I've been listening to everything she puts out, and yeah.
I like her.
Actually, she was talking about, because I'm rhesus negative blood, and I think it was her that said rhesus negative blood have got more, is it more copper in it? And you know, I've got the copper.
Yes, it's more copper.
Plus, you're
I
more
wondered if
psychically active when you're Rh negative.
So do you think copper rods work better for people with rhesus negative blood? Because my rods usually work pretty well for me.
Or you could wear a copper bracelet.
No, she's asking if her copper rods would work better because she's Rh negative. I would think they would, Trisha.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was just a theory I had. I was like, oh.
No, I think it's a good theory.
Try it. I want to.
Question: how do you determine?
She does. They work good for her.
Blood?
I use them daily.
You have to ask your doctor to request it.
Or
they don't do it automatically.
You can do it yourself.
Go through your doctor.
No. You buy the blood test for $8 off Amazon.
Well, when I join the military, they do it for you for free.
There you go.
Okay.
Just
note to self.
Just sign your life away.
I can get you a link for that. Actually,
you have to have it on your ID card, your blood type.
I bought one a couple of years ago, and I never used it.
Or have a baby, then they have to do it then.
Not in the U.S. It's not covered. They don't care.
I don't have the required hardware to just have a baby, so that's not in the books for me.
Because that's how I know my son's got the same blood type, you know.
His father had Rh positive or negative. Yeah.
Positive. Oh, positive he was.
And your son is negative?
Yeah.
I didn't even know.
Then his father must have had a recessive negative, because there's actually two. So people who are Rh negative have negative, and there are some people that are positive negative or positive.
Okay.
So obviously I'm Rh negative. That's why I know this stuff, because I've been researching it for years. And so they just recently came out with this, well, in the last year or so, that there's actually, I think, is it 2 alloys? Is that what they call it? Where it's not just a negative. There's a positive and a negative, or 2 positives or 2 negatives. Okay. So if there's a recessive gene, then that's why your son has negative blood.
And my mom has Rh. She's O negative.
Yeah.
Too. But my father wasn't.
My whole family is. My parents are. Dad's A negative. My mom's A negative.
I think my father was the only one in our 4 that had the positive.
Do you think they're using 23andMe for nefarious reasons?
Hell yeah, they are.
Oh yeah, totally. In fact, they just told us this week that they caught the I forget the guy, the Golden State Killer.
Rapist, yeah.
The what?
Yeah.
The Golden State Killer was captured. What?
That was a synchro with the show that Graham just did. The guy that you just interviewed talked about how he wanted to get some kind of lead or something like that, right?
Yeah, he's been studying that. He's been studying that case for years, actually fucking following the path of the guy and investigating the areas and all kinds of shit. He recommended a person of interest to a couple people, I think, to the cops. I think it might be the guy that he recommended, actually.
This dumb fuck gets caught because he wanted to see his ancestral heritage.
What?
Once you give your DNA to these services, they own it.
So that's how he got caught, through DNA, through
if they own it. So it's, I don't know which one it was, but just call it Ancestry.com or whatever. They own your DNA or a copy of it, and if they have agreements to share it with law enforcement departments, then it's going to happen. You have no say over it once you sign up.
I did not know that's how they figured it out.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, I think they probably had it mostly figured out. They just had the evidence to arrest him. There was something I was going to bring up about that. The Vanguard did a big thing about that, about the Golden State Killer. And the guy that they said it was, that's how the cops got him, through the guy. So I don't know what's going on, but that's interesting.
How come I've got 2 thumbs down? What the hell?
Because we got trolls.
Probably because I'm here.
No, we had them before you got here. Probably have 4 now. So I guess there's a
I've been getting loads lately. It's quite funny. You know you're doing something right when you get home.
I was just gonna say that.
I don't care. So it was a website called GED Match. But the whole first half of the article is about Cambridge Analytica, which is kind of weird.
Cambridge Analytica. That name has come up a lot.
Because Obama and them were in bed and sharing information between Facebook and Cambridge Analytica and Obama's campaign.
Dude,
that was back in the day when it was a positive thing to have a huge database. They were bragging about it.
Exactly. It's exactly right. In fact, Obama came, we're going to use big data to win this election, and they did. And now it's like complete 180. They're spying on us. Well, duh. They told you 8 years ago.
Yep.
They told us like 16 fucking years ago.
They never stopped telling us.
God. I watched George Bush Jr. tell us.
Yep. Patriot Act. Did I
You
pay
think John will come back?
He said he's okay. I asked.
Okay.
He said you and he have 2 degrees of separation, and you have no idea. So I don't think he's coming back. No, he'll be back. I'm teasing.
Oh man, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, me too.
John,
it's got to be about Wayne.
You can't tell a Gemini something like that and then not tell him because I'll be
I'm too close to being a Gemini.
I think what he was getting at, and he mentioned it in the interview, on our interview, that Wayne is part or member of the Council for National Policy, CNP, which is this giant evil organization.
Oh, I have no idea about that.
Yeah. But I don't know. I have noticed. I watched his show the other day about. I don't remember what it was now. It was that great.
I have no idea about that sort of stuff. So
no, me neither.
Yeah.
It was the Species Reset one. Did you watch that?
No. I don't necessarily watch all of them.
No, I've never seen any except that one. I was going to watch the Demon Spirit Alien Invasion. That one looked good.
Ooh, that sounds pretty cool.
I know, doesn't it? Because it's all demons. Everything is demons.
Makes sense.
That's like our default joke. Cambridge anal licking. That's nice.
What's this new news? David Shilcock's saying something's going on.
Oh, it's happening.
It's happening. So it's all happening.
It's all happening right now.
I didn't actually read the article, Jerry. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
I didn't read it.
Well, if this is from the future, if it was happening, she would know about it.
Here, I'll share it.
That's always my default thing. Well, is Australia still there?
We're still here in the UK.
I know. Well, when the boys go, the world's supposed to end tomorrow.
And then everyone can see
already tomorrow in Australia. They must still be there.
Critical moment. Deep state takedown.
Critical moment in the deep state takedown is happening now.
What? They're taking down the deep state
right now.
Yeah, critical.
It's happening.
So the behind-the-scene wars to take down the deep state has finally reached critical mass. Based on
Alex Jones is the same life path number as you, Jerry.
7?
Are they actually using critical mass the way that it's defined in the dictionary?
So here he's stating the 24,500 sealed criminal indictments. My friend David Seaman, red flag number 8.
Jerry, remember when we said, "Oh, nice name," and then we got all these bullshit from that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I still feel that way. Like,
wait,
that's a total
just
fucking
from saying nice name.
Yeah, because
that's a good point.
Right?
Because it's about all that other stuff, right?
The pedophilia.
Yep. Yeah. He was one of the first vocal people.
That's your last name.
He's a champion of Pizzagate.
Right,
and he
but
was
his
the
name
first
is
one
Seaman,
on the scene,
which is a strong component in Pizzagate.
Mm-hmm.
So,
see, I've been noticing names for a long time.
Alex Jones had a Lockheed Skunk Works. They keep talking about Lockheed Skunk Works like it's got some credibility.
Oh my God.
It's, you know, it's like someone again who claims to be an ex-employee, nothing you can prove, whatever.
Named Zach with a CH.
Yeah.
No credibility.
Zach Hubbard, right? No. So once you understand the Shadow War now reaching its crescendo, it's been reaching for like 10 years. Seemingly confusing and upsetting political events can take a dramatic new levels of meaning. Okay, David. So as a result, we know that the deep state has been hiding an astonishing wealth of ancient extraterrestrial ruins, crashed technologies, recovered bodies,
and we know this for fact,
and reverse engineered interstellar craft. Absolutely. They also have ongoing direct relationships with multiple intelligent extraterrestrial civilizations. Sure. The scope and power of what lies hidden in these various underground vaults could literally transform us into the Star Trek age overnight.
That's what they all want it. They want that Star Trek age.
Oh my God. Oh, look,
the whole
it's so blatant.
Look at this awesome
getting
drawing.
Worse and worse too.
It's a William Tompkins submarine type spacecraft from a 1954 diagram.
Yep.
Yeah. So no, I didn't read this.
You know what? That William Tompkins, he wanted those pills to extend his life.
What pills?
That's what I got out of or program or whatever they were promising him, that they were going to extend his life and his wife's life. He really believed that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did you guys not notice that?
Take pills. There's so many people that.
No. I'm talking.
This guy.
He, became a whistleblower, or whatever, for this secret program that he was in. He was like, what, 86, Jerry? William Tompkins?
I don't know. He was on Project Camelot. It's like an instant ignore.
Yeah. And he got
but he went on all these other shows too. But that was his main thing. In the wrap-up, he said he was promised these pills that would extend his life and his wife's life.
There you go. How could you say no to a deal like that?
It's always good to be reliant on pills. I mean, did you ever see the movie?
Everybody's going to find that. Yeah. Oh, remember when James Cruz got that Limitless pill? And then he never talked about it again?
Is he here? He's not here yet.
No, I wish he was.
Hey, Modwiz, welcome.
Modwiz?
Modwiz.
Hey, what's good?
Hello. I put a different name on.
That's good. I changed any reference I had to woke AF to wise AF. I thought that was since it had been co-opted.
Yeah,
gotta fix
wise
my
AF is a million times better.
Well, I'm in a puckish mood, if you know Puck from Shakespeare.
I do. That just adds to your normal Randy mood, isn't it? That enhances your Randy moods. Trish, this is Radagast. Trish, he has he does a druid shaman. I don't know what you do. You're just a healer. He's a healer, medicine man, dude.
Cool.
He's a Nordic, like a tall white.
Whereabouts in the world are you?
I'm in Appalachia in Southwest Virginia.
Okay, cool.
I'm not this part of the state is different than the eastern part of the state, which is part of Dixie. I'm in Appalachia. Where it's a nice little town. The hippies and the hillbillies really get along.
Good.
I'm learning lots because some of these places I've never heard of.
He's like northeast of me. I'm closer to Florida. Yeah.
We have a population of about 600.
Oh, man.
A small one.
Mm-hmm.
I have a really good British joke for you, Trish.
As long as it's not about dead babies.
It's not about dead babies.
Good.
What do you call a Lada with a sunroof?
I'm sure I've heard this before. A larder with a sunroof.
A skip. With a lid.
Nearly got it. I got Skip.
You did. You
That's
got it.
rubbish.
I know. I only know bad jokes.
What was it? It used to say a Skoda and something to do with a Skip, but
There's
yeah,
a
I can't
couple.
remember.
Oh, dual exhaust. What's a dual exhaust, Lotto? Wheelbarrow and a sunroof. It's a wheelbarrow.
I specialize in 2/3 of a pun. PU.
Thank you.
That's a terrible, terrible joke about Skip.
Yeah.
You got to do better than that.
Yeah. Bad jokes. Lottos are like, what was that shitty little Romanian car we had here for a while? God, come on. There were these little cars we had for a while that were, I think,
Pinto?
No, they're from Romania.
Oh, man.
Skodas used to get all the bad jokes here years ago, and not now.
I don't know what those are.
You're not talking about the Yugos, are you?
Yugos, yes, thank you. They're from Yugoslavia. Yeah.
Skodas used to have the engine in the boot, I think, or something, or was it something crazy?
That's what the Pintos were here. The Ford Pinto had the engine in the back. The bonnet was in the back, right?
Yeah.
And they blew up if you ran into them.
No, absolutely.
They blew up real good.
Yeah, Skodas were. Yeah, you had to put bricks. I don't know. I can't remember. One of my old school teachers had a bright green one. It was horrendous.
Oh, a lot of Russian cars. Interesting. Yeah, I've always wanted a Citroen, like 1969.
My first car was a Citroen AX.
Yeah, I love those cars.
My first car was a Citroen AX.
Didn't they have hydraulics, so you didn't need to jack up your car?
Yeah, the bigger ones. Yeah, they like lifted up. Yeah.
But they're French cars. Welcome, James Cruz.
James Cruz.
Hello, James.
Ether.
What's happening?
James is the other half of Cruising with Steak podcast.
Yeah.
And Grambo is one half of the Grimerica podcast.
There's a lot of
And
we're on the Hive.
Radagast is host of Can You Hear Me Gnostic?
And one of the hosts on Mystic and the Moose.
And Mystic and the Moose, too.
I'm learning lots. I've not heard any of these, I'm afraid.
This is our hangout group.
Yeah.
I don't know. Talk. I got nothing. I'm out.
Weren't we just talking about James Cruz before you got in here? What was it?
Probably, right? I don't know.
It was about the ether.
As soon as he came in, I mean, I hate telling these little synchros all the time, but as soon as he came in, I scrolled by your fucking post on Instagram. Same Insta.
He looks so professional now with his mic.
I am totally not professional.
Not in any way.
No, I just I have somewhat of a setup, but it in the future it'll get, like, equipment wise will get better, but yeah, I love hanging out. I love podcasting. I love hanging out with Jerry, and I'm always
I love hanging out with you, James.
Yeah, I'm always down to hang out on the Hive for sure.
I love the way you hang out.
Yeah, I let it all hang out.
I love how Jerry corrected the typo that nobody else caught.
Well, I saw both of them. I put the show out on, I blasted it today, and then I'm like, fuck, I spelled this thing wrong. I spelled that. I worded that thing wrong. And then I look at a lot of other people's shit, and it's the same. It's just like, I don't know. But I did make a graphic where I spelled it wrong. I'm like, God, definitely got to change that.
Dude, that's a good graphic.
It was.
Yeah, I love making. Like for every show, I'll make some stupid picture of whatever that kind of relates.
Oh, they're not stupid. They're genius.
I put that a dodecahedron in there.
That was totally
like that, dude. Yeah.
Love it.
I
had a pyramid or that one, so I went with that one.
I posted the show awesome. Right before we came on here.
Yeah.
And I actually put I cut the GIF up and had to play it in. I had, oh fuck, the stuff I do for you, James. No, I had actually.
He's got a happy smiley face.
I had to cut all the frames out of it, and then make a movie, an animation, and speed it up just to play it once.
And then repeat.
No, I didn't. I couldn't do that.
Oh, it just plays like one time through it.
like I had to do this just to play through it once.
Oh.
I've been learning.
It took me like a half hour just to play it once.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
That's awesome.
Whenever you're on the show,
just sent you the video. I have it on video, like a
I do
video.
love that picture though. I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, John's
that
back.
picture is
Dude?
amazing.
John's back.
I am.
Oh, you were here. I'm late. I'm totally late. Yeah, I was hanging
Where
with
were you, James?
stuff. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I was hanging with my wife. We were watching.
unacceptable.
Yeah, no, we were watching like Date or 2020 and Dateline and shit like that.
Are you getting brainwashed?
Nah, man, just people getting fucked over and then getting sent to jail for the rest of their lives.
Oh.
I love when that happens.
Yeah, but so we were just kicking it. And,
Lifetime incarceration. Bill Cosby.
Yeah, no, man. The one was in it was in Atlanta, and this was a fairly I've already forgot the couple's name, but it was like a political guy. He ended up shooting his wife in the back seat of the car, they went through the ghetto basically. The guy has like sleep issues, and he was in the back seat. The two females were in the front. He's like, he wakes up and they're like, "Oh man, we're in a bad neighborhood," and he's like, "Give me my gun." So, and he has a gun in the car, and these are like super rich people and shit. And he's and so he gets the gun, and he's like kind of like lucid, like kind of in and out. And I guess like the gun goes off, and he shoots his wife. She's sitting in the passenger seat in front of him, right behind the back, dude. Just bam! Yeah.
Didn't that happen to Oscar Pistorius or something?
They dug everything out, went through it a million times. The guy was in and out of jail a couple times, and then he finally got convicted for murder. Yeah. It's just.
Is Khan's gonna get some pudding in prison?
Pudding,
Oh,
yeah.
He is.
Pudding.
He's probably gonna be in Martha. You think he's gonna be in Martha Stewart jail? Just like.
Nah, his pudding's gonna have some special roofing.
He's gonna get pudding made from him.
Yeah, exactly.
I found a great meme for that today.
Surprise, motherfucker!
Surprise. This one.
So Weinstein has to go down next too.
Oh yeah, that guy's got to fry. Yeah.
Oh, I don't get to. There.
Oh Jesus Christ.
Wait, I gotta show everybody.
Yeah, you do.
Prepare to be astonished.
The proof was in the pudding.
And then somebody trolled me on it and said, nice watermark, especially since it isn't yours. I'm like, fuck you.
Why you stealing my memes, bro? Why you stealing my memes?
Hey, what's
Leo.
up, dude?
What's up, dude?
Man, this thing is lit right now. Oh my god, how many people? I can't even tell.
8.
We're lit on a full moon tonight.
Yeah.
11 people.
I think John is actually trending on everything right now.
Trish, where are you at?
We're trying.
Wait, I am?
I'm in the UK.
Oh, wow.
You're on a coastal area, like by Brighton or something?
I am on the coast, but not Brighton. It's like about halfway up the UK on the east coast.
Southeast?
No, not southeast.
Like Ipswich area?
Further up than Ipswich.
Okay.
Have you heard of Hull? Where the Humber Bridge is? It's below there. If you go around Norfolk and Ipswich, we're further up than that. You go around Norfolk and then up the coast.
I used to have a pen pal in England when I was a little kid.
Where did they live?
I don't remember. She was my age. I was 13. She was 13. If I saw the name on a list, it was something in the something. Like, Pig in the Poke, England, UK. That
That's
wasn't.
Not much
It was something on. I don't remember. It's been so long. Like 40 years.
I'm just trying to think of somewhere. We're nowhere near London.
No.
London south to us, about 200 odd miles. We're further up from London.
I was in London in 81? 82?
Just a while ago then.
That was the last time I've been there.
Yeah,
I was there when they had all those riots. And they had those riots there.
Of course you were.
That was fun.
Because you organized them.
Yeah, we're at a seaside resort with the fairs and the all that and the merry-go-rounds.
Look, Jerry, there's only one super spook, and that's George H.W. Bush.
True, but he's got a broken neck and probably already been dead for years. That's his clone we saw at the fucking funeral. You know that.
George H.W. Bush, super spook.
I thought he was going to kick
What's
the
that?
bucket.
What's that?
Like he was just in the hospital, you know. I thought he was going to kick it right after his wife died. Yeah.
Hi, Lauren.
Oh, wow. Another. Wow.
I was gonna put George H.W. Bush is dead.
Hello.
You have it written already?
Yeah, I mean that's what Titus and I do because one time Trump tweeted Castro is dead !
Yeah.
So now anytime anybody dies, we just put so and so is dead. So
Wait, George
so
Bush? George Bush was really old in the 90s. How old is he now?
90, he's 93. He's 93.
Jesus Christ.
Didn't he just go in the hospital again because of some kind of blood infection?
I'm looking up.
Right, that's what I thought.
He did.
Yeah.
He had I think it was from intestinal issues, if I remember.
Wait, how old is Queen? How old is the Queen again?
God, that's so spooky. I was literally just going to say our Queen is 92. You read my mind.
She's 92.
She's
1,000 in reptilian years.
Yeah.
92 and
She just turned 92.
90. Yeah, it was her birthday on the 21st of April, and she's got a life past 7 like Jerry as well.
That's a 21777.
And he's 96 or 97, Prince Philip. But they're both in year endings this year, so.
I remember when I seen her, she looked really confused. Like she was like,
Jerry, dude.
She's 92.
When I seen her,
yes, thank you.
No redneck talk on my show, damn it.
When I seen her, she looked really confused.
Like really confused because you got a boner, or
like she didn't know what was going on.
Oh, she looked confused. Yeah.
No, she was confused.
I don't think
well, they're both in a year 9 year of endings this year, so there could be.
But here's the thing I learned when I was in England. When we got drunk, like downtown London. You don't talk shit about the Queen. Like people will beat the shit out of you.
Oh
because
man!
One of my Air Force buddies, he was like, he got a little bit too drunk. He was talking shit about the Queen. I was like, dude, you need to settle down because they're serious around here, man. You don't fuck with your Queen.
Yeah.
They're like fucking bees, all right? You fuck with the Queen, they're gonna fucking sting you. So we had to we had to get out of there because he's getting a little rambunctious,
Yeah, there's a lot of royalists.
Too many mojitos.
Very patriotic.
Too many punas. I love that movie.
In fact, we just having that discussion earlier on when I was out about the Queen and like whether Charles will abdicate and all that business, like you did.
Is he even in line for the crown?
Yeah, he's next in line, Charles.
Do you think he'll get it, or will he give it right to William?
Well, there was a play on the way he abdicated and gave it to William. So, and Harry was with a girl that was half caste in it, and this was before Meghan Markle came along. So that was a little bit spooky.
Isn't his wife a mudblood too?
Yes, perfect.
Well, no, that's true. I mean, they keep it in the family, and the ones who aren't are mudbloods.
Yes, that's what I bring to the table.
The Americans do not like the royal family, do they?
No, I don't care. I don't like them.
If we bring Meghan Markle on, then we would. But I hate to tell the Queen, I don't give a flying.
Yeah, I think for the most of us, we're kind of, at least me, that they were written into history and weren't actually royalty forever. They were just some family
playing a game.
Well, if you think if her father was it her uncle didn't abdicate, her father wouldn't have it would have all been very different.
Yeah, but it all ties back to like some kind of German immigration and marrying into the families, which came out of Eastern Europe and all kinds of weird shit. The whole Khazarians, I think. I forget what her lineage is.
It's not Khazarian. No.
Not her.
Well, Philip's Greek. I don't know about her.
Everybody's Khazarian? What?
I said not everybody's Khazarian. You're consider. No, the queen isn't Khazarian.
I can't remember which family she's from, which bloodline.
I would assume majority of them would have some sort of bloodline relation to the Merovingians. I would assume.
I think she's Medici, like from the Medici bloodline.
Maybe.
Medici.
Well, the Medicis were a really powerful family.
House of. Actually, I have the document somewhere on that shit.
It's a House of Windsor. I forget it's like Weingarten or something like that.
Well,
Yeah, Windsor.
You might be right. But I'm saying, like, before that house, there was another house. This is going back to like Roman.
You sure she doesn't claim that she's from the Virginian bloodline?
I'm looking it up right now. You're not thinking of the Pendragons, are you?
Me?
No, Leo.
No.
Kaz just stuck a claws in me. Sorry.
Oh, that's
Jesus,
the word.
what are you doing?
She wants love or spanking.
Well, she's getting love on my lap. Look, I'm having to hold her like a baby.
Love on your lap.
That sounds wrong.
Sounds wonderful. Let's see. I don't know. There's like no.
Remember, you can't use Wikipedia as a source.
It's actually an article from the Telegraph.
John,
it's probably no better.
Gotta be right.
Royal Rumble.
Speaking of which, today in history, by the way, before it's tomorrow. Oh, it's already tomorrow, but I thought it was interesting that Benito Mussolini was executed today in 1945, and the dude who started Lamborghini, Mr. Lamborghini, he was born today, and the mutiny of the Bounty occurred today in 1789.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yes, Queen Elizabeth says that she's from the
Saxe
bloodline.
Okay.
I was right. Booyah!
So Albert was from the German Saxe-Coburg-Gotha.
So were those from history on the 28th?
Yes.
Yeah.
And you're correct. It is the Medici family too.
Yeah. Is it okay? Okay.
All those families are inter bloodline with all the other.
Exactly. The Medici split up and some went into France, and those became the Merovingians. Merovingians. Which were allegedly the Mary Magdalene bloodline, if she even existed.
They claim that horseshit.
I know.
That they're not, but they claim it. I mean, I myself am a somewhat descendant of Marquess de Lafayette. My ancestor was first cousin to them. That's why I live in Fayetteville. Lafayetteville. It's because my family land here for fighting in the Revolutionary War on this for the Americans. A little bit of history there.
Teach us.
I think I'm a descendant of a pirate.
Yarg.
You seem like you got pirate's blood.
I'm French royalty, baby.
You know,
robbing for that booty.
A pirate walks into a bar with this big steering wheel in his pants, and the bartender says, "Hey, buddy, what's with the steering wheel?" And the pirate says, "Yarg, it's driving me nuts."
Well, I know my great. I might.
Okay, you're talking Stone Age now.
Well, no. I know they were train robbers.
Great.
Were train robbers, and before that, I think they were. I do know that my great grandfather was a Grand Dragon Master or some shit.
Oh man, that sounds pretty awesome.
Of the clan?
My grandfather? Yeah.
Yeah, of the clan. Okay, it doesn't sound so rad.
Of the Red Dragon family? Does he know Benjamin Fulford?
I guess this is what they. I don't know. I've been trying to figure this out because they tell me this, but I don't know. Not sure.
I mean, one of my earliest ancestors I could trace back in like 1100s was a ship captain for the French Navy, and escorted a Knight of Malta to
those fuckers
for safety. So I got that going for me.
Nice.
What is with the Knights of Malta? They like seem to be up in everything.
Because they are.
What about the Knights of the Helmet?
What are the Knights of the Helmet?
What about the
Lord
Knights who say
Helmet.
knee?
Jerry, you should do tomorrow in history for people in other time zones.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
They're
good.
in the 29th.
Tomorrow and
It took me like 6 minutes to scan through all.
On the full moon.
On the full moon tonight. I got the moon last night. I filmed it. It was at 96.3%.
I think Universal Time is going to be like 1 or 2 in the morning, Monday, Sunday into Monday.
Check out failed.
Mr. Failed.
Don't wake him up.
Someone new, Alex.
Alex.
What's up, Alex?
I don't know
Why
who
is
that
that
dude
name?
is.
Yeah.
What's up, guys? I'm friends with John, and I'm in the same Discord server as Jerry.
All right, you're safe.
Yeah.
I come in peace.
Comes in peace.
Welcome, Alex.
Thanks, guys.
Wait, wasn't the world supposed to end again like 2 days ago?
It was, and David Mead was off again. I was looking for Nibiru all day.
Oh yeah,
and
it was David Mead, right? Was his
Wasn't it supposed to end in the year 2000?
Oh, it was supposed to end several times.
According to
See, I remember like 2000. I think I was a senior in high school. I remember.
Welcome to the nature of breakfast.
I went outside. I was looking up in the sky to see if I could see like any waves or stuff going across the atmosphere. Because my theory was like they were going to test HARP, and that if the power grid went down, they were going to blame it on Y2K.
Well, I lived in Cornwall.
Illuminati.
With the eclipse and the
Totally.
year 2000, nothing happened.
It was a scam. It was a hoax.
It was a
Well,
complete
Jones,
anticlimax.
Wasn't Alex Jones reporting that the Russians were bombing us or something?
Yeah, he was. And Bill Cooper called him out. Listen here, folks. I just got done eating a plate of cheese enchiladas. Y2K is happening. The Russians launch all their missiles. It's happening, folks. You better kiss your dogs goodbye and put your children outside. Wait, I got that wrong. It was supposed to be the reverse order. Shit's happening. It's all over. You're gonna die. Take your dick pills. Hoard your Jew gold.
Yes.
I lived in rural upstate New York, and they even sent us a letter. Our equipment's too old to be affected. Don't worry.
Remember they were all worried about the time, like the time,
Yeah, dude,
the
that whole
digits and
stuff.
shit. Yeah, like
Because it was only set to.
Everything's just gonna collapse.
Everything's going to crash because it won't be able to cope with the date.
Yeah,
they won't be able
It
to
was all
cope with
gonna-
Facebook being down. That's going to freak people out far more.
I mean, yeah, that was a whole cycle. Like back then, like HARP was a thing back then. Like it's like cycling down, and like it kind of disappeared, and like it's coming back. So
yeah,
like,
I started hearing a little bit more lately about it.
but the thing is, like when HARP was first discovered and stuff, or talked about, like I bought all these books and was reading all these books and stuff, and I was thinking, well, because there was something like Y2K and power grid outages and stuff, I was like, well, that would be a perfect time to test something like this, because then they could be like, hey, it was all Y2K, you know, like in case shit went down. Was my thing.
Oh well, I know. Felix, he lives in. Well, they're doing a basically kind of like an EMP test kind of thing. What state does he live in, dude? Wisconsin, yeah. So they're doing like this setup where like they're gonna have like this mass power outage and everything. You know, it's a drill.
Yeah, it's only.
Oh yeah. I heard
Yeah,
about
but that's
drill.
but a countywide drill or a statewide drill like that is weird.
It's huge. It's supposed to be like 8 counties or something.
That's
Some
fucked up.
Yeah. So there might be something going down there.
It's only Wisconsin though. Who cares?
Right.
Have you been there?
Well, you might see.
I
like,
did. That's where I went to the Dells. I went to the Wisconsin
No,
Dells.
I know. I'm teasing.
Yeah.
I like.
Well, Wisconsin, you have Fort McCoy, so that's where I did combat training.
Yeah.
If you see an increase of training, like NBC training, nuclear biological warfare or chemical warfare training, generally when the military, or at least when we train, the local law enforcement, like sheriff's department, local PD, they would train with us. So if you see that typically means they're just training when the military is training. And the military is training because we have an escalation in, obviously, world conflict. and generally that's when they pick those training scenarios.
But we don't have an escalation in world conflict.
We don't technically, but what I'm saying is that we do, but we don't.
I was gutted I had to give my gas mask back. I wanted to keep it.
You can buy them at
Well, the best gas mask to have, like personally or Israeli?
I had when I was in the military, I was in for 11 years, and when I left, that's one thing you have to give back. You can't keep it.
Well, I kept everything.
There was one thing you weren't allowed to keep. You had to give that back. Like,
Yeah, well, the gas mask they issue, like for us, like military, was crap. It was leaking like crazy because every time we went through a gas chamber, you could just feel the gas just seeping through your freaking.
Don't you remember during the Iraq War, all the people who were like, fuck. There was not enough supplies to go around to all the troops, specifically gas masks. They didn't have enough, and they had groups of grassroots people organizing to collect money to buy gas masks for the troops. Do you remember that?
Well, I remember thinking if they do have chemical weapons, we're screwed anyway, because I can't imagine this is going to protect us.
It's against the Geneva Convention to use them. There's been really no evidence of chemical weapon use against our troops, ever.
Well, I mean, except when they blew up the chemical weapons depots in Iraq, caused Gulf War syndrome, and a combination of giving the soldiers the drug parastigmine.
But it wasn't used against them. They blew it up, and it was a consequence of their deeds.
Yeah, but I meant used against them, not like the Iraqi army used it. I used against them as in our government probably had some plan to test it out to see what happened.
Probably.
I just have to ask, I recognize Alex, I think, from somewhere. Where do I recognize Eric from?
I have a highly recognizable face, but I am not a public figure, so there's no place.
You either remind me of someone or I've seen that name somewhere because it's bugging me now.
You're spying?
And he's damn fine. He's damn fine.
No, it's just, I'm sure I've seen you somewhere or on something.
Oh, intuition.
He's holding a really small dog.
You like that? That's Minnie.
Back to
Oh,
the
All right, I'm getting my cats.
James, you need a little purse to put that dog in.
Yeah, she's 3.5 pounds. This is Minnie. This is my dog that got lost. She was outside in the winter for 12 days. This motherfucker kicked it and lived it out there.
That's right.
Yeah, dude, it was crazy, man. Like, we searched high and low for I was gone for a week, came back home to find out my dog was gone because we were on vacation, and then got told the day I came back, and then searched for another 6 days, and we finally found her. It was ridiculous. I thought she was long gone. But
that's the dog right there?
That's Minnie, yeah. There she is. Oh, she's there, her little badass self, dude. Yeah.
I swear I've seen him somewhere before, but I thought we were connected on Facebook, but we're not. I've recognized him from somewhere. It's going to bug me now.
Alternate dimensions, maybe past lives. Who knows?
Yeah.
I switched timelines. John told me I switched timelines.
Yeah, he's in the timeline where Sinbad wasn't in Shazam. He's in that other timeline.
I'm in that timeline too. I don't remember Shazam.
Dude, Shazam! I remember watching it with my dad because my dad was like the biggest Sinbad film aficionado. I remember watching it. We got it in the movie and just laughing my ass off at it. But I guess apparently that never happened. So.
Is this all like, let's get pets on camera?
Yeah, it's pet hour.
Hey, Anya's here. Hey, Anya.
No, I had to go get her because she was barking, so that's the only reason.
So what was that? When the Mandela effect thing, the Shazam? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah, that's Mandela effects. It's like Bernstein Bears and Bears.
Right. So what was the movie like? What did people claim the movie was originally called?
Shazam. There was a Kazam. There was a Kazam. No one says that there wasn't a Kazam with Shaq. They believe that there was two. In the timeline that I'm from, there was two movies. Kazam came first with Shaq. Then Shazam with Sinbad came on after that. Okay, and it was like a cheaper version of Kazam, but funnier because Sinbad's funnier than Shaq. I mean, let's get really. And I remember seeing the video with my dad, and it was like these kids find a genie bottle up in their attic,
Up in their butts.
and they rub the bottle, and
Genie sauce came out?
No. By genie sauce, you mean Sinbad.
Yeah.
Sinbad comes out dressed up like a genie, and then he ends up giving them 3 wishes, and the kids' parents are getting divorced, so it's hilarious hijinks assume, and the parents end up getting back together, and then Sinbad actually becomes free from the genie bottle, and it's a good feel-good family movie for everybody. And yeah, from the timeline where that movie existed, and everybody loved it, and that's just, I guess, majority of you guys are from the timeline and never heard of that movie, so
I saw it.
you saw it too, huh?
Your cat loves you, Jerry.
Pardon?
Your cat loves you. You got a calico like me.
Both of mine. I have 2 calicos. Yeah, they do. They love me. They won't leave me alone. I hate it.
The only thing from the Mandela that really threw me off was Bearstein Bears, because I had that book as a child, and I specifically remember the Bearstein.
I have it here somewhere.
Bears.
I have it.
But I mean, I don't know. I mean, I was a child, so I could have, mispronounced it.
No, it was Berenstein Bears.
Yeah, Bearstein. That's what I remember. But the book is actually Bearstein, right?
Yes.
Here in this timeline. This is the problem with the Mandela effect. If it's true, there's no way to prove it. So, and it's pointless to argue because people just say, "Oh, well, in my timeline, that's the way it was."
Wasn't there But wasn't there a video, like someone made specifically a video about a passage in the Bible?
Yes.
Where
there's lots that have changed.
The what was it? Wine?
Yeah. There was one about the wine skins.
Yeah, and they went to they specifically went to a Bible that they had that proved. Said, look at this. This is what it says. It's not wineskins. It was something else.
I think wineskins was the old one, and now it's bottles.
I don't know. They keep changing. Like it changes. Like every time they print something, they change it. They tweak it just a little bit.
The one that got me was the Lord's Prayer. We forgive those who how's it go now? Forgive us our trespasses. We forgive those who trespass against us. That's all changed, but it's not changed. I don't think. I think what it is that the brand of Roman Catholicism that I was taught. I never read a Bible in my life, so I was taught that prayer, and that prayer was taught to me in that manner, which may be just an old,
Wait, what? They changed it?
No, dude. The Catholic Church did a retranslation recently of their English litanies.
But that didn't affect 1963 printed King James Bibles.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking about
Forgive
old.
us our trespasses as we forgive the who trespass against us. That's not right.
That's how I learned it.
That's how I learned it.
That's Roman Catholic. That's their version of it. So I think each type of Catholicism had their own.
No, you're right. That is how it is. Okay, yeah, I'm looking at it right now in 1928 Episcopal. We forgive those who trespass against us. Yeah.
But now it's give us this day our daily bread and forgive us our debts as we all also have forgiven our debtors and lead us not into temptation.
It was never like that.
It is now. This is what I'm saying.
I think it's just a retranslation of it because I'm looking at it right now and it says it the way that you and I learned.
No, I think they both exist. It's not a Mandela effect. So I'm saying that it's more of a cultural difference.
Yeah, I agree.
It would be pretty hard to miss a translation from wineskins to bottles. I mean,
That one's a weird one. This is the only one that I can, reference. And
I won't get into it, but John Lash covered that in length on his Mandela Effect Decoded website. YouTube.
If it's real, it's something we're generating ourselves. It's not being done by CERN or anything.
I think most of the Mandela effect can be explained with the inconsistencies with human memory.
Yes.
And that, often these people misquote like the Star Wars, like Luke, I am your father. Like it's been repeated wrong so many times that people don't know the actual quote. So if they watch the movie, it might sound different.
But
Star Wars?
But
Yeah,
the
it's Star
actor-
Wars.
Yeah. But and it was reinforced by what's his face?
Yeah. The actor who played that character, like he specifically he requoted that quote from the movie.
That
So I
doesn't-
just
he remembered it wrong incorrectly too,
What
though.
about what's his name? Tom Cruise in Risky Business with the underwear. I mean,
I remember that scene.
I remember that scene too. And then you're gonna tell me that never happened? That they made that we just remember it that way? because
How
they made
about
fun of it?
C-3PO's one silver leg? Huh?
Yeah.
So
aren't some people documenting that this is happening in real time in a way too? They call it there's some other deeper level or deeper name to this, and they're actually seeing it happen. Like,
I see it happen too, Graham. Like me and Titus talk about it all the time. We saw certain things that, like news. I've seen news stories of being reported as brand new news, like stuff that I've already seen like weeks ago, and I'm like, why is this being not like nothing new to the story? Like there was, remember that taco place, Alex, in Portland, where the woman got in trouble for stealing the tortilla recipe from Mexico?
Yeah. It's culturally appropriated. I remember that.
Yeah.
It happened in
Cultural
January
appropriation.
of last year, and then they reported it at like May of last year of being something totally new that's never been reported on ever.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, that's already happened. I remember this clear as day as happened. It messed with me for like 2 days straight.
Yeah, I think that article was actually re-reported for another thing and linked to a previous article. I'd have to check though, but I remember when that happened.
I never saw the previous article, Alex. I never saw it. They were reporting it as brand new, and they even interviewed the woman again. Well, yeah.
Well, her taco shop got shut down because
Is that a
people
euphemism?
boycotted it. Shut down the taco shop.
Yeah.
Shut it down.
Could be for like, hysterectomy. They shut down the taco shop. The one Mandela effect that I have that I've shared with a few people that I know a few people who also have it is the way I learned to spell the word dilemma, which was Dilemna, N as in Nancy, and now it's spelled differently. And I noticed this change happen around 2006, 2007 with the advent of the Chrome browser. And specifically, they didn't have that word in their dictionary, but they had dilemma misspelled. So, but before the Chrome browser came out and the auto spell check, it was spelled like that everywhere. And I can't find any evidence of it being spelled that way in any books or anything.
Yeah, the Mandela effect could be just them modifying the internet like 1984, and we never understand what's true or what's not. I mean, that's a basic belief understanding. Or it could go as far as CERN's manipulating the timeline.
So when you say it's not, Jared, when you say it's not CERN, like why do you say that?
I believe it's CERN.
Because I'm more likely to blame the collective first for a lot of this shit than anyone else.
You don't think it would be a possibility? Like,
I'm sure it's possible. Well, I don't know if it's possible, but that in and of itself is a possibility. So
I think it's a combination of the collective unconscious, CERN, when they do sacrifices of important people, and all that put together. Like you shove it all in a box, and that's what.
I don't think they're doing sacrifices of people either.
So they get together and they're like, "Okay, guys, we got to respell Berenstein."
No,
like, okay, let's go kill some kids.
I think the Berenstein thing is just people not remembering properly.
Yeah.
Or
well, isn't there the one famous one too of, was it Neil Armstrong when he jumps on the moon? It's like one small step for man. And like I think there's even a misquote there. Like he said something else.
Like not every awesome slogan fits on a fucking t-shirt, so they get reworded a lot.
Right.
And that's what people remember. This is the other thing too. The history of things is changed by movies that are made about them. They're based on a true story. So if you look at like Apollo 13, nobody knows anything about Apollo 13. That movie comes out and now everyone's a fucking expert on it, right? But that's not exactly the story either. That's just the Hollywood version of it. And you get this across everything. And I think that's a clue when you see biopics of people of who's in the club. Because they're rewriting the history of this person. Why? That's my idea.
So I wonder if there's a way to implement the WebBot technology to kind of pick up these type of phrases.
Cliff Heisting?
Yeah.
He does. That's what he does.
what I'm saying, like comparing, like based on what was actually said in one specific time frame, and compare and contrast to different, different time era, and like, hey, this is what was said back then versus this is what was said now. I'm not sure like how many years he's been doing this, but
Over 20.
20 years. So
something like that.
So would there be a way to like look back and say, okay, was there any specific language? Because there's been various releases of Star Wars films. So is there any way to go back and say, okay, what were the specific phrases discussed during this time frame of release versus this time frame? Just to pick up if there's anybody talking about that specific phrase, like Luke, I am your father versus no, I'm your father, to see if like there's anything like to compare and contrast from that point of view. You see what I'm saying?
Sorry.
Hello.
Welcome, Anya.
We needed more women in the room.
No, we were pretty good. We definitely not a sausage fest tonight. I like it.
We need more feminine energy in the room.
No, we have Grim for that.
I bring that too.
I bring it. Yeah, bring it hard.
Getting me hard, buddy.
My flow is strong.
Oh no.
You invite me to these, Jerry.
It's because you give me.
Anya and I did a live earlier, and you were in there, Jerry, and it was very hard to keep it.
I know.
Clean.
I had to leave because you guys were the side of. When you two get together, the sexual energy just builds up, and then like Lee gets in the chat, and it's off the charts.
We should do more, Anya.
Yeah, we should go. Yeah, we should.
I just want to hear you talk with a German accent and tell me you're going to spank me or like stuff like that. That would be to hear.
With an accent in German.
Oh, German, yeah.
Ja, in German?
Ja.
Oh, Jerry, ich werde dir den Hintern versohlen, dass du nicht mehr sitzen kannst.
Oh my God.
Jerry's gone.
I'll be back.
Gotta go get a new pair of jeans. Be right back. I used to be in love with this girl named Anya. She was a foreign exchange student and lived at my friend's house. Oh my God. It was it was crazy. She ended up getting like kicked back. She ended up getting kicked out and sent back to Germany, I think. But yeah, she was a wild one, man. I was in high school. Yeah.
Look at his face.
Yeah. As soon as I saw your name, I'm like, oh my God, it's instant flashback.
Deja vu.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Mandela effect.
Mandela effect.
This is funny.
I like Danny Arnold McKenney. Yeah. She's got that Unfuckers group on Facebook and the Unfuck It discussion group on Friday, Sunday, blah blah blah. She calls it the what the fuck effect, not the Mandela effect. She refuses to call it the Mandela effect.
The what the fuck effect.
So here's the thing. What if they were actually changing our memories rather than the timeline?
That's possible.
Wouldn't that be more reasonable?
What if we live in like fucking Dark City? And when we go to sleep and wake up, everything's different and we don't remember.
Oh man.
What if Guy is doing it?
What if Guy is doing it? Yeah. Well, what if? See, now I would go back to this point. What if Guy is just part of our consciousness?
Yeah, because I can go to sleep for an hour and nothing's changed that I know about, I guess.
Don't you ever wake up sometimes though and think like, where am I? Like, and feel completely like.
Sometimes, yeah, that does happen.
I've scared myself a few times. Like, where the hell am I? It's
Yeah,
like
you're driving down the road and you're like, where the fuck am I going?
Yeah, that's scary.
That's happened. That's ramped up for me quite a bit actually. Sometimes I just blank out. I'm like, I have no idea who I am or where I'm going.
Yeah.
I have noticed lately that I can hear the cell towers as I get close to them and move away, so I can hear a sound in my ear.
You can hear them hum. You can literally hear them hum.
It's like a high pitch.
I can hear them hum.
Yeah.
It's like a high pitch.
And when I crank them up, I can feel it on my skin too. I get itchy.
I'm not that sensitive.
That's a microwave. Don't get too close. That can actually happen to anyone if you get close enough to a microwave tower. Your skin could fry.
I don't have a microwave.
Especially 5G towers, so stay away from them.
Well, if one day 5G towers, someone might just burst into flames. Just be like,
yeah, that's what
when they rolling out 5G again.
now.
Any day now.
It's happening.
It's kind of out. Yeah.
Remember when I got in the accident last week? And the dude I hit was a 5G contractor. He was working for AT&T. Huh? Yeah, really. And he was telling me that AT&T is hell-bent to get 5G rolled out completely in Georgia by the end of the year. So he's working his ass off putting up towers, and he's like, oh, we have to put repeaters like every 100 feet too because the signal's so weak. So they're just bombarding everybody with this shit. It's crazy.
I don't know, man. I don't see that. I just, they might have like 5G in select areas, but I don't see like 5G based on like a business model because, like you said, it's such short range that they had to put up so many repeaters to get that signal out there. I just don't see that.
Nobody has the equipment to even run on 5G.
This is the thing. I don't understand what the push is to get it out because I think 4G is fast enough. I can get like 100 megabits on 4G.
Yeah.
I don't need anything. My phone isn't fast enough to process anything faster than that.
Make my car not use gas. How about that?
Yeah, exactly. And when you ask them, why are you doing this? They go, oh, well, the people want it. No, nobody fucking people want it, okay? You guys decided you want it for whatever reason. It's just a new product. They could charge more. They can charge more for the data, more for the bandwidth. It's all for profit, and that's driving it.
So you think it's going to be mainly clustered in metropolitan areas, right?
Absolutely. And
well, it's in. They did it over in the Olympics this year. They had it at. They brought it out 5G. Our one buddy that was on a couple weeks ago. He lives there, and he was talking about it.
And there's no scientific evidence that 5G is harmful. And just because there haven't been any studies as far as I know. And secondly, the only other bad thing I know about it is it shares the frequency with the V2K technology, the government, which is the voice of God, voice to skull technology where they can beam a microwave at your cheek and you can basically hear it inside your head. It's creepy. It's a gang stalking.
I can't imagine that this is healthy. I mean, the other stuff is not healthy either.
The number one reason why it's not healthy is because of the wavelength. In 5G, the wavelengths are...
Yeah, it's shrunk down.
They go from 1 meter down to 1 millimeter. And in that range...
The frequency range is so crazy.
It goes from 1 meter down to 1 millimeter. And in that range are all of your organs. Your organs are all that wide. And if your
extremely low frequency.
If your organ is the same width of, say, a wavelength of a microwave, it will absorb the microwave instead of passing it on. It won't, it'll integrate into your organ. So if your heart's 6 millimeters or whatever, 100 millimeters, and 100 millimeter waves, you're standing in front of a transmitter, they're all going to be absorbed by your heart.
Oh, great.
Yeah, not cool. That's the way it was explained to me.
I'm going to die.
So,
10 out of 10 people die, dude, so... Get used to it.
I have a funny story about the government and radiation. My grandfather died from some kind of cancer when I was about 10, and he was part of an operation called Operation Plum Bob, which was one of the nuclear explosions in Nevada in the 50s or 60s, and he was a helicopter pilot. And so my dad's story is that they gave him a radiation detector, like a monitor to wear around his neck. And they flew through the cloud, after the nuke goes off, they got in the helicopters and you can see the video on YouTube. And my grandfather's flying one of those helicopters and they flew through the mushroom cloud. And then they landed and they took... Yeah, on purpose. Wow. On purpose. They were doing, a study on a nuclear blast out in Nevada, and they took the radiation detectors and they never told him what the results were, ever. And he died in his 60s. He did smoke all of his life, so that was probably part of it. But, we've always kind of wondered, was it the intense radiation from that nuke blast? And when the nuke went off, they were facing the opposite way and they put their forearm over their eyes. And the blast was so bright, he could actually see his bones in his arm.
Holy shit.
Facing the other direction.
Dude, that's fucked up.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. I mean, we basically nuked Nevada like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
That's why they get casinos.
So if radiation is that bad and we tested so many nukes in Nevada, New Mexico, in that area, why is it safe to inhabit? Why isn't that nuclear material drifted? Is it still radioactive? It's like, I don't know.
A lot of that land that they blew stuff up on is it's government owned. It's like federal owned.
Right.
So there's nothing out there. Like it's hard to get there even with highways and stuff.
Right. Like trying to go to Area 51 sometime, right?
Yeah. I mean, even Area 51, it would have been nowhere close to there. I mean, that's even like in the suburbs.
Was it
usually detonate.
White Sands where they tested it? Or
I'd have to look up Operation Plum Bob.
I put the link in chat already. I'm looking at
They
it.
usually detonate underground. So when the detonation happens, it spreads underground versus airborne.
That's how they were building the underground tunnels, right? Just blasting all the way across Nevada.
Yeah, so they were killing two birds with one stone with that.
They've got the underground, I heard someone talk about this the other day, alleged underground railroad, the maglev system that goes up 200 miles an hour or something.
Right.
Hey, you know what? That's fine, man. If they want to kill everybody and retreat to their underground base, I mean, fuck it. Let them have it. I don't care.
Yeah, but at one point they will have to come out too again, right?
Well, yeah. I mean, if you want to live in post-apocalyptic type environment, go for it. I sure as hell not.
Yeah.
Nope, me neither. I just want it to be over when it happens. If it ever happens, I want it to be over.
Yeah.
I just go out and say, bring it on.
This is why I don't think there will be any type of nuclear anything, because
there won't be.
They can't.
It's not profitable.
They can't survive without the mass majority, right?
And they need people. They need to make profit, And that's what it's for.
But they can't maintain their lifestyle without people servicing their electricity, their plumbing. They can't maintain that type of lifestyle.
Unless there's more land beyond the ice wall.
True. Unless there's a breakaway civilization, there's $21 trillion missing.
Oh, there's more than that.
There's more than that.
Dude, it's in the quadrillions, I've heard.
So
I heard quintillions, but okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy amount of money that gets talked about.
Right. So I mean, where does that money go?
In the basement of the World Trade Center.
Cocaine? I don't know.
The hookers? No.
Hookers and cocaine, yeah. I know how fast it can go. You don't even realize it.
I don't know if you've seen that documentary, was the Convex Earth?
The one from Brazil?
Yeah, they pulled that YouTube video.
Did they really?
Yeah, they did. They pulled it. They said they were wrong.
About which part?
I don't know. They just said that they were
scientifically incorrect.
Something was wrong in the documentary or something. I'm not sure.
Maybe it was they were a UFO death cult that made the film. They got found out.
But I mean,
true, by the way.
That theory, that perspective makes more sense to me versus the whole flat Earth thing, right? Because I mean, and the thing with the flat Earth is okay, so if the outside is an ice wall, then how does that account for the North Pole being frozen? You know what I'm saying? Wouldn't the center part be the warmest part?
How do you know it's frozen?
Well, I'm just. I don't know. I haven't been up there.
Exactly. This is the way I look at it.
Basing it off what I hear.
What silence?
Right. We believe the world is round, the globe. Fine, and we believe space is real, right? But it could be something completely different. So it could be flat. I just say it doesn't matter what shape it is. It's just the fact that we're being lied to, if that's true.
Well, I mean, based on all the new information coming out, we know that there are ancient civilizations. The human race is much older than what is depicted in traditional sense, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's the case, then my theory is back in the 40s they found something. They found an old civilization or something. They formed the CIA. They were testing aircraft, which led to Roswell. They formed the Area 51, which was testing this aircraft. and progressing this technology. They were hoarding all this tax money, this trillions, quadrillions, kabillions, whatever. And now they have a breakaway civilization, pretty much. And they're pushing this AI agenda where they want to get rid of us and they want to put robots in place so that robots take care of all the basic task of performing daily routine, like taking the trash out, cleaning up the cities, and all that stuff. And then they don't need us anymore. I'm saying, like, they get to the point where they don't need us no more. They have these robots. Done deal.
And they
not till they get the sex robots perfected.
Well, the sex robots are already out there,
but they're not perfected.
How do you know?
How do you know?
I don't know.
Touche. Jerry's tested him.
Touche. No, I would like to. I would definitely do that. I could be a reviewer of sex bots in a world of sex bots. One man review.
Seriously.
Wouldn't
you rather have a real woman than a robot?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely. But then.
That's not going to stop Jerry from reviewing them, though.
Correct.
Reviewing.
I think you can buy one now for like $6,000. I think.
Jerry, wouldn't you be too afraid that it would like suck your dick off or something? Like a
I was just saying, wouldn't you be scared it's just gonna go chop chop at one point?
Like a real snapper? No. Actually, my fear would be that they would be collecting my DNA.
that is a worry too with a real life human being too. They could also like chomp off your pain.
But then you've got the energetic ramifications of sex, which aren't awesome. So.
Yeah, I couldn't. Not a male robot. No way.
If it looks like Tom Hardy.
So you have no toys.
Oh yeah, unless you look like Tom Hardy, then maybe.
They can collect your DNA, right? So they can duplicate you, create a clone of you, and then they can sacrifice you yourself. And then they would say, "Hey,
I wonder if
it's the same person."
I wonder if there are clones of Jerry.
Oh.
I hope not.
One Jerry is good.
I don't know. Yeah, I've only met this version of.
I'm a unique individual.
There were clones made of Jan Reno.
There's allegedly clones made of everyone in government and high. They say, well, the stories go that if you get to a certain level in the government, you're cloned just in case you get killed. Especially presidents.
Well, they could clone Tom Hardy, then that would be, yeah, I'd go for that.
He probably already has one. Suzanne's back.
Me and Anya can.
I mean, I assume we know for a fact that they can clone like animals, right? Like sheep and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're mean. They're evil when they come back.
If they can do that, then I assume that they can clone humans as well.
I'm pretty sure they're on that already.
They can't
behind
clone.
closed doors.
Did you see the news thing where they're keeping the brain alive outside of the body for?
Yeah, with the pigs, with the generated blood.
The pigs.
Yeah.
Is it 36 minutes?
Dude, they chopped like 200 heads off of pigs.
I know.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy.
It's like, why? Why?
And there was, and years ago, I forgot his name. There was this doctor. He even transplanted
Mengele
head to another. No, not that guy. Not that far back. He transplanted an ape head to another body of an ape.
They were doing that to dogs. The Soviets were.
And it worked. And he was trying out to do that on humans. So
Sergio Canavero.
I mean, the Soviets were keeping dogs alive. Dogs.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the name anymore. I'm honest. That was years and years ago, and I read it, and I just got like It was like
that's creeping me
out. It was 2 years ago. It was Sergio Canavero in Italy.
No, that was further back. I was still back in Germany when I heard about that.
Oh, this was a human head onto a monkey. Or no, a monkey head. I'm sorry.
Oh, man.
That's disgusting.
Yeah, monkey head. Because he wanted to prove that you can transplant heads with a brain, that everything is in the brain, and in case you need to keep people alive, the only disadvantage is you have to cut the bone, right?
Spinal
cord. So
I'm
But I don't think the ape, if I remember, the ape hand transplant didn't work. The same thing that the human when they were to do a human they couldn't stitch all the nerves together. So
right. Right, they can keep the brain alive, but you can't move the body or anything.
Didn't they Wasn't there going to be like an experiment where they do this with some guy who's paralyzed from the neck down?
I thought they'd
in
done
Europe?
some head transplant or something recently or something, didn't
Yeah, I also heard like it was a fishy story and it wasn't going to happen. It was like a scam or something, but it was well produced enough that you thought it was legit.
Yeah, it rings a bell quite recently.
That's creepy.
There was a lady here that got her face mauled off. I think and then they did a face transplant.
Yeah, that's a lot easier.
Yeah,
I saw that movie. I saw that movie. Face Off.
I saw that movie. Yeah, I saw
kind of like that.
Okay, that I can see, but a head, the whole head. Even let's say even that works with transplanting head. Then you have the head of an 80-year-old one, let's say, on the body of a 20-year-old one, so he can live a little longer.
That's the old.
See, they're introducing these things for us to get sick of.
Altered carbon, right?
Well, think of it this way. You know, when you get a phone and then like 2 years later, it's so slow because all the apps expect this new phones to be out, right? So they're showing you the shitty clone technology they have now. So when you get released, you're going to wait till it gets better. You know, it's like it's part of the marketing campaign. That's what I think.
Planned obsolescence.
Yeah. Well, they're showing you how shitty it is, but it's really good behind the scenes.
Wait till this happens. Yeah.
But they're getting. I mean, it's preparing the population for the advent of clones.
I can't wait to get my VR headset.
The ethics behind it is a whole separate issue. I don't think anyone's. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's illegal to clone humans in every country, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, but I'm sure they're doing it anyways.
Of course.
Behind closed doors.
Wouldn't you?
Well,
I don't even know what
laws. I mean, no.
No.
Didn't
they make the laws? They don't even follow the.
I swear I just heard something.
It's not for them.
70 countries have banned it.
And also all those ancient trees tests, you know, where you can send in your DNA to find out where you come from. Yeah, sure. Just give out your DNA, give it all away.
I'm good.
Well, no, we talked about that. Yeah,
but so many people do it.
And when you do, you lose. They own the copy of it, so they can do with it what they want. They could clone you if they wanted to.
Well, that's how they just found that. That's how they found that killer, dude. That San Francisco guy. There's a database that was open source.
GED Watch.
Yeah, and then all they did was plug the guy's sample, and then bam, it hit.
Yeah, but also imagine. I mean, think about what else they can do. Not only, you know, okay, that's the advantage, but other than that, they can also create more of their viruses and see, you know.
Oh yeah.
What else can kill us? So they cannot have. I mean, I'm sure they have it anyways with blood samples from the laboratory. But I mean, that one they're not getting free unless they kill me. Then they can have it. But other than that, I'm not going to give away my DNA.
Oh my God, they've done this.
You spread your DNA everywhere every day. Your apartment is full of it.
Yeah, but it's not organized like in a database.
I'm kidding.
So, you know, like the 23andMe thing, if you want to do that, what you do is you go buy a Visa gift card with cash at a store and then use a fake name when you order the test.
Good idea. Yeah.
And send it to an address that's not your address. Because now they can actually recreate your facial structure with your DNA. And there are some companies working on this in San Francisco that I heard of. It's all kind of under the table right now, but some very legit people were talking about it.
I can imagine it's just like the Matrix. It's just code,
there was a really
streaming down and your face appears and shit. Yeah, it's like
There was a really good Doctor Who episode in. I'll find the episode. It was with Peter Capaldi, and the girl, one of his companions, had died, and he landed somewhere where these beings from the future came and reanimated people based on their memories and their experiences, because they would download them out of people before they died, like right before they died, to catalog and archive this data. But then they could reconstruct a person from those experiences and memories. And Doctor Who would had this argument with this person that you're not that person, and this person's going, no, I am that person. And it's exactly that. What is a person? Is it more than just the sum of their experiences? So if they can recreate your face, and if they have a data bank of your experiences, can they recreate you?
Yeah. And is it different? Is it different than being you? I mean, to everyone else's experience, it's the same.
Well, is it a conscious thing or is it a robot?
Yeah. Well, that's the altered carbon argument. So, I mean, if you guys have seen that,
I have, and I don't think that's an argument, because altered carbon, you know, your consciousness is in the stack, and you only have one.
Yeah.
And you can go in any body. That's kind of like an allegory for Earth, that you're a spirit in a vessel, and you can go in any vessel, right?
That you can copy, because in altered carbon you can actually have two in one. So
yeah, so
right, but that's illegal. Yeah,
that's right.
There's an interesting there's an interesting sub story in that show that I noticed, and that is what they call the Neo-Catholics, which is like this religious organization of the time.
Yeah,
they make it illegal, or they like if you are Neo-Catholic, they consider that once you're dead, once you die once, you're dead, and if you bring that person back, it's not their soul. You know?
Yeah, that's what I think. I don't think you can clone without the soul. It's not possible.
Yeah.
For me personal, for my belief, this is just a vessel. If they want to clone me, yes, but they can't have the rest. Pretty simple for me.
Right. And I would say the same with an AI. You know, they can make programs that act like humans, but it's not going to have a spirit or whatever that is, if that exists. Unless
that's what I believe.
Unless it's possible that a complex electrical system can house a consciousness, can house a soul. In which case, I would say the internet probably has one now. You know? And maybe even your iPhones have souls. You don't know. We don't know. It's not like we can point some kind of detector. Okay, got a soul. It would be nice to be able to do that, right? George Bush, no, you don't have one, sorry.
That's something that has eluded scientists for a long time is consciousness, the consciousness problem. And I think they're really stabbing at the dark here, because they're breaching upon metaphysics with this. And they're never going to find it. They're never going to find the physiological basis for where the soul is located or where consciousness is located. They've tried.
Not with a materialist set of tools, you're not.
Yeah, but really, they're backing off strict materialism. I mean,
and it's probably better for all of us.
Yeah.
No, they're backing off of materialism into conscious. They have to bridge that gap. Otherwise, they're going to leave it to the Vatican.
Oh, don't even get me started on the Vatican.
Yeah, it can't be.
It's a fight that's coming. They're going to come to a point where they can't really advance science further.
They have to work together. All the versions have to work together
without exploring consciousness.
Well, yeah, to even approach exploring consciousness, it's like problem solving. You got to use all these different things to come up with it, not just one directed way to look at it. By putting a set of numbers in to get a result back, it's never going to happen, especially with consciousness. I just like the Dean Radin one I just listened to about. He's trying to approach it as in magic. Lately, he's trying to take a whole different route in it. I mean, he's been into magic forever, and
but I mean, isn't consciousness just simply memory?
No.
But without your memory, like you wouldn't be you. Like if you lost your memory tomorrow, like you don't remember nothing.
Well, there is a physical component to it. Yeah, there's obviously a physical component to consciousness, because you have a physical brain that we can measure the waves on, you know, and you can feel pain and all these things that affect your consciousness. You know, you can take ayahuasca and have a crazy trip, and that's your consciousness. So it's an interweaving of these things. It's not just strictly one or strictly the other. It's basically a vessel that's taking a frequency.
I was just gonna say, yeah, you're the vessel, and then all this stuff that's happening around that aura or whatever, it's like firing all that shit. It's connected to you, to that vessel. Then,
I mean, it's
how do you take it with you, though? How do you take it with you, like when you move on, which is pretty crazy, I guess. In the spirit body,
you have to be upgraded by the event to a crystalline body, and then you will ascend to 5D.
5D, yes.
Yeah, but I mean, come on. People do feel energies from people across the world. You are connected, and is it that, for example, mothers knowing that the children had an accident? Is it you feel that the person that you're close to is feeling bad or is feeling happy? You know, what if it's friends that you feel connected to? I mean, and I believe that all this 5G shit and cell tower is interrupting that, and that other it's so hard to explain for me, but other frequencies interfere with these frequencies, and I'm sure there's a purpose beyond it besides corporate and money.
What if it's for us to be able to adapt to them and grow?
And what about it is about us not to grow? Because why would they want us to grow? I mean, look at the Vatican. They don't want us to grow. They don't.
I'm just saying, you know, what if it's the environment? What if it's the Earth's intention for us to grow by adapting to these things? I'm just asking. I'm not saying it's my opinion. I mean, just look at it from another angle. It could be that nobody's doing it to us. It's just happening. Right?
What, the cell towers?
Yeah. Everybody wants a cell phone that's really fast. So they're only supplying for the demand they have. They're not thinking, oh, we're going to kill people with this. Awesome. Let's put up 1,000 of these. But, you know, that's not going to fly at AT&T headquarters.
I'm not saying killing. I'm not saying killing people with it. But, I mean, okay, you get sick sooner or later from all the shit at one point. Not like tomorrow. But still, I find there is another purpose behind it. They just combine it, you know?
I'm not saying there isn't. I just don't think it's human generated. I don't think humans decide to do that, to harm people. Maybe I'm wrong. I think they just get these ideas for whatever technology, and it goes out into production blindly, without being tested, without thinking about the long-term ramifications. Everything's very much the business, the the corporations in America serve a I want it now consumer. So they have we need it now attitude towards building these technologies. So
I can agree with that, because that is exactly how the mindset of Comcast was. We're developing these concepts, and they were trying to get them realized in the market before properly testing them. So yeah, there is an aspect to that for sure.
First mover.
First one in the market, and it's a race, and I do kind of agree with that.
And then they'll have studies later on, like now we're getting these EMF studies from cell phones are harmful, right? Now, those came out a couple weeks ago. I don't see them ripping down cell towers. Nobody cares who use cell phones. They're like, because it's not an immediate damage to them. They don't perceive it as a problem because it's not, it's not a cut. It's not a bruise or anything. It takes years of exposure to grow a tumor in your brain. So they're like,
and then money focused.
And then not everyone gets a tumor.
And not everyone gets a tumor, which makes it even more nebulous.
Not everyone who smokes cigarettes gets lung cancer.
My gramps smoked 2 packs a day till he was 85,
Yeah, everyone has a story like that.
Right.
Lucky Strikes, non-filters.
This is just my opinion.
Chesterfield.
I see everyone blaming these nebulous groups of people for doing shit to them to make their lives shitty. And they just complain. And it's like, well, you're not really offering any solutions, and you're not really looking at it objectively. You're looking at it from a hatred perspective. Who can I blame? From a victim perspective, rather. Who can I blame? And
no, I'm not blaming anybody, but that's just my perspective.
I wasn't saying about anyone here. I was just stating my opinion on that.
No, it's funny. That's a weird sort of synchro. Just because I just happened to was scrolling on TV the other day, and in that movie Tomorrowland was on.
That's a crazy movie.
Yeah. Well, it's before. It's kind of in the beginning where she's in school, and all the teachers are just spouting off history and all the problems in the world, and she's just standing there the whole time, raising her hand, and finally, a teacher at the end of the day was like, "What?" She's like, "Well, what are we gonna do about it?" And they're just like jaw dropped. and then the bell rings, and then they had no answer. Yeah, it's like
that's Disney programming.
Yeah,
it's actually pretty good, except for the technical issues.
Yeah, it's a couple hour movie. It's pretty good. Well, I don't know. Graphically, it's
that
cool.
Spectre movie though. Oh my god, this group of whomever, the octopus people, were having a meeting going over like their businesses, like the human trafficking is going well and the drugs is going well, like all the things that people accuse the Illuminati of doing today. This group was talking about as their with the quotes Illuminati. They were going over them as business divisions. Like
How infantile is that, though? When you believe in Illuminati?
No, I'm not. It's just it's interesting.
No. I'm just saying, like, when you're stuck in that like time warp, and you're like, Illuminati is coming to get me, and the fucking vans in front of my house.
And the black helicopters are coming.
Black helicopters, yeah.
Right. And those fucking sparkling lights above my house are coming to get me. Dude, but they really still happen, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. People have something to prove, but then they get laughed at or are called crazy.
Right.
And that's why I don't get.
Well, Spectre's on Amazon Prime if anyone wants to watch it.
Like you eventually just let them go, and you're like, man, fuck these helicopters, whatever I'm seeing. I'm just crazy.
Right. I think after like you're saying, like after being in this stuff for so long, like we already know they exist. We already went down the path. Dude, like,
but are we just like letting the like shit get to us by doing that?
No, I think we pass it off, dude. You know, like
we pass it off, but seriously,
we pass it off, man.
Like, but are we wrong in passing it off?
We already acknowledged it.
Shit.
You know, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, I don't know. It's like we've already acknowledged it. 20 years ago.
What Jerry said was, you know, people understand this, people know this, but they don't care. They don't have a solution.
There's that subset of people.
They complain about it, but they don't have a solution to the problem.
Eating M&Ms will give you diabetes eventually if you eat them every day.
As I'm,
right?
I mean, the problem is
he holds up the bag.
Wait, Trish, what?
Go to jail. That's the problem.
Not everybody who eats M&Ms every day would get diabetes, though.
Right.
I would imagine.
Right, but nobody. I mean, it's not like M&M sales have gone down.
I have a cousin who drinks Mountain Dew every day. I have a cousin who drinks Mountain Dew, and whose eating habits.
How fat is he?
No, she.
How fat is she?
My eating. I drink like, okay, this is not what she really says, but this is what I observe. I drink Mountain Dew. I eat fucking Klondike bars. I fucking eat cakes. I'm like, dude, no wonder you feel like garbage. Do you try to not eat garbage?
I eat Taco Bell sometimes. That's pretty scary.
Okay.
That's scary.
Like, okay, my kids are eating like mama. I hate the smell of McDonald's. Can we please have it? No. You cannot have McDonald's. Sorry, I'll make the salad with mama.
We got a hepatitis A outbreak.
You're so mean, Mom.
San Diego?
Dude,
what?
If you're gonna eat garbage, you're gonna feel like garbage.
Are you in San Diego? Yeah, it's like Mountain Dew's like 95% sugar.
Dude, it's total sugar.
Yeah.
My son is like, Mom, can I eat oatmeal? I'm like, dude, have you looked at the ingredients? It's like 30 grams of sugar and like 1 gram of.
Are you asking me if I'm in San Diego?
No, yeah, I was. You said there's a H.I.V.E outbreak. Yeah,
I'm not in San Diego.
Oh, that was
I'm
the
going
lettuce.
to Dunkin' Donuts when this is over.
Lettuce has sugar in it too, man. If you
No, there was that huge like EDC lettuce fucking issue, man.
There is this person I follow.
Lettuce has sugar.
Lettuce has no sugar in it.
If you get it from McDonald's, it does.
Yeah,
that
probably.
may be true.
I don't touch McDonald's anymore.
Fuck that. Don't let your fucking children eat that bullshit.
Oh, what's her last name? There's a woman on YouTube, Daphne Rimmel is her name.
Mama, I love Pepsi Potatoes, French fries.
All right,
I'm hungry now.
I know.
This woman.
Hungry.
All right, wait.
Let's go get some dollar French fries.
Go
Some
ahead.
dollar menu.
Go ahead. So there's this woman on YouTube who was a vegan for a bunch of years and got really sick, and she did a bunch of research into it and basically has come out with all these videos saying don't go vegan, it's not healthy.
It isn't. I've lost like 15 pounds, and I should not have.
She's like, bacon is the holy grail. Anyway.
Yeah, I mean, it's
God,
a
it
balance.
smells so good. I had to cook
Yeah, the
bacon
balance, right?
for
Yeah.
my children. I had to cook bacon.
You gotta
for
have
my
a balance
children,
of.
and it
You gotta have a
splashes
balance of
on
all
my
that shit.
eyeballs, and I'm like, oh.
Her research.
God, fucking
all right,
bacon.
Vanessa, shush. God. You're doing it again,
I'm
woman.
just telling you,
You're
that's how
doing it
real
again.
is.
Stop.
That's how real it is. Go vegan and try to cook bacon for your fucking kids.
Oh.
She's talking about how broccoli may be poisonous, like the
It's
cruciferous.
delicious.
I put the link in chat.
I'm not vegan, but I think I have a friend, she's vegan, and she's perfectly healthy, and she's not skinny either. It all depends on how you eat and what you eat, because you can get a lot out of beans and everything else. Like, so you just have to know what to eat. That's, I think.
Well, I mean, it's a balance. I mean, it really is. Like, you need a balance of everything: meats, vegetables. Cook your vegetables. You know,
Buy local.
I don't eat
because
meat. Yes.
you cook the vegetables, it gets rid of all that shit that's in there that
has nutrients.
well, that was the toxic shit in there that the plants have.
Glyphosate.
Yeah,
that's a pesticide. But they have some other stuff.
You mean like natural ingredients that are poisonous? I have no idea.
Yeah, like even vegetables have like some stuff that is like
right,
natural.
it would fend off an animal from eating it or something. Right.
Yeah, so that's why you got to cook a lot of vegetables, like spinach. Even eat raw spinach, and you'll have a feeling in your mouth where it's trying to eat you back.
Yeah, like tinfoil. It's like eating tinfoil.
Yeah, even pineapples have like a lot of bromelain in them, which is digest proteins literally.
Have you ever eaten too much pineapple and it burns your mouth?
Yeah, that's what that is. It's basically eating the inside of your mouth.
I can't drink it. It's like ulcer city, dude.
That's why I don't eat.
My mouth was like, oh.
I don't eat fruit.
Well, there's a big difference between zero meat and low meat. Like a huge difference. That's a bigger difference than,
I almost want to say, don't even fall for the organic scam. Like, because I mean, if you buy local, you're pretty much getting something that's produced like really well. It's fresh.
But the organic thing's for pesticides.
Organic
or GMO.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that because, like,
well, dude, ask Grim. He works. He works in.
No, I understand. Like, buying local is fine, but like if they use pesticides, if they use certain type of chemicals, like to spray those plants, that's something you would definitely want to avoid.
If you look at organic beef versus normal beef, the difference: an organic cow can eat organic corn, and it's still considered an organic beef. That's a big difference than a grass-fed beef.
Right.
Grass-fed and grass-finished is even better because a lot of grass-fed cows are fed corn for the last couple months of their life to fatten them up.
Or chopped up other cows.
Yeah.
Like the free range chicken, stuff like that.
Well, no, that's why.
You
Do you remember
those labels, but
the mad cow thing out in England a couple of years back? That was all because they were feeding chopped up dead cows back to the cows.
Yeah, that was the dumbest idea ever. Like, who thought of that?
Some cheap fucker. I know how we can save on food. What?
It's awful. My dad used to eat tripe.
Ugh.
It stunk. He used to eat tripe and chips.
It's a Mexican delicacy on Sundays and for hangovers, apparently. Menudo.
It was the worst thing. Tripe. Ugh. Geez.
Yeah, organ meats are weird.
Yeah.
I don't have a bell, Modwiz. I'm sorry. Grim left. He needs a synchronicity bell. I don't have it. Ding.
Oh,
But
I got the bell.
I stopped eating meat when I was 12 originally, and then I started eating chicken when I was pregnant with my son, and then I stopped eating it again later on.
I stopped eating chicken at 14. Yeah, I was 14. I stopped eating birds because I felt that the hormones that were increasing their breasts would give me a larger chance of getting breast cancer because I have man boobs. So
bitch tits.
Bitch tits. You got it. Not that good. His are meatloafs were nice bitch tits. Mine are not that nice.
You just gotta avoid those soy lattes.
Oh, that sounds
soy is
so gross.
another bad thing for you.
Yes.
I have to get you a bra for your birthday, Jerry.
No thanks. It's only when I slouch that they show. When I stand up and you can see my six pack, you know, it's all good.
Keg.
You said a keg?
My six pack.
Keg, yeah, a barrel.
No, I don't drink beer. No, I actually used to be 400 pounds.
Well, you've done good then. I'm only kidding about weight thing.
No, I know. It took me a long time to get down to
400 pounds?
Yeah.
You weighed 400 pounds.
What is your height?
6'2".
6'2"?
Mhm.
That's still a lot.
They feed you
Kudos,
soy in
man.
jail. Thanks.
Kudos.
I got a picture of me, a fat me, if you want to see it.
I do.
Fat you.
Super fat me. Somewhere.
Super.
Hopefully this 5G will help you lose some weight.
Yeah, I know that shit takes a long time to get off, man. I know.
Text cells.
It's a lot of work.
It's still going on.
Didn't you feel like uncomfortable?
Yeah, I did, but it was more work to. It was one of those things. I don't know. It's. I can't explain what happened.
In all seriousness, did you eat a lot though to get to that size?
No, but I ate a lot of crap. Like I would buy a pound of candy from Cupid Candies and eat it. Like watching a movie. Like I would take a pound of chocolates to the movies and eat that instead of getting a box of candy. I've never done that. I'm just saying. I had no problem doing that. I can't find it. I'll find the picture, but talk amongst yourselves.
Can't imagine you that big.
It was pretty frightening. Oh, maybe it's on Facebook. Mm-hmm.
So that turning point, like when you decided to, like, enough's enough, like, was that just like a...
It was it was in 2003, actually. I found out I was diabetic.
Okay.
That'll do it.
Yeah.
And my doctor's like, "You're going to be diabetic for the rest of your life?" I said, "No, I'm not."
That's awesome.
Here,
It's amazing what willpower does.
Yeah, it sucks because like one of my grandmothers, she's on dialysis. And
Oh wow.
She does it 4 times a day.
There you go, fat me.
That's you?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
You or the baby?
That's my my ex-nephew.
Like if you had dark hair now, you'd look younger now, probably than that.
If I shaved off my beard, I looked younger.
Look at that guy.
Oh, we missed that.
Wait, I saw a picture of you naked in the tub. What was that?
Oh, the tub picture's awesome. There's a great story behind this picture too. Go back.
You whizzed past them too quick.
Well, I wasn't like
Oh
showing.
my gosh.
This one?
I can't see that now.
Oh God, it's in my head forever now.
Jerry, take it off.
I was comfortable. So we had our bathroom redone, and my friend's dad was doing it, like on the side. And we were without a shower for 11 weeks.
Oh.
And the day they installed the tub, and we'd been showering outside with a hose, like in a makeshift shower. So the day they installed the tub, I was like, I'm taking a fucking bath tonight. And I got in the bathtub. My wife came in and took a picture. It's like, because I was going, a real bath.
I can't look at that.
It's funny.
No, because it'll be imprinted in my brain. I don't want that in my brain.
There's more huge me.
You look so different. I wouldn't even know that was you.
A little bit, yeah. Like I could.
This is me in high school. On a computer, of course.
Hey, you see, you look quite cute there.
Oh, I'm fucking gorgeous.
All I want
great. That was great.
Here's more fat me with my first kid. And,
I just wouldn't have recognized you.
no. Plus it was 30 years ago. Anyway, nobody wants to look at pictures of me. I certainly don't.
I love it.
Not onesie in the bath, anyway.
No, those are the best ones, actually. Do you know, is Failed still here? He's Failed, you awake? Sometimes he tubcasts, get in the tub. Well, he's not home anymore, so he can't do that, but he used to get in
I
the
think
tub.
Mr. Failed fell asleep.
Probably. He's got to work tomorrow.
I was wondering who it was that did that in the tub at that time.
It was Failed.
Yeah, it was Failed. We were doing the shit shows, and he would start up one night he was in the tub, man, and it became a thing for sure. It was great. Yeah,
that was funny.
It's been a minute. He tried to do a shower one at the camp, but it didn't work out too. Couldn't get it set up right.
Yeah, he's a oil tanker driver.
Yeah, he's up in the way northern Canada.
Up in Edmonton by you.
Yeah, in the middle of nowhere. Yeah.
He
In Edmonton?
He's in Edmonton, yeah. He works like 2 weeks and then has 4 days off?
Yeah.
So
Is that where you are, Anya?
That's where I am, in Edmonton.
Edmonton. It's like badminton. Badminton.
Badminton. Badminton.
Badminton. All right. Let me say goodbye. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for checking us out.
I was going to say, I need to go to bed because it's like...
Okay. Hang tight. Say goodbye to everyone. Goodbye, everyone. Thanks for joining and watching.
Bye. Thanks for having me.
I hope we made your Saturday a little less boring.
Yeah. It was fun hanging.
Have a lovely night.